Welcome back, everyone, to another session, this time of Half-Rate Heroes. Welcome back. Tonight, unfortunately, we don't have John with us, so playing Wampum tonight will be the eloquent Carl and Lafcadio. So bear with us tonight as we charge forth. Last week, we ended the session as the party were going to rescue their companion. Now, our heroes had entered into the village of Tribor. Whilst in Tribor, they had learned that the nightly shadow attacks that they had encountered weren't so much a isolated incident, and the city of Tribor had managed to figure out a way to protect themselves by creating magical light that ringed the city. Unfortunately, it didn't stop humanoid incursion, and so during the night there was an attempt on the Lord Protector of Tribor's life. The party went in to investigate. Ali decided to chase the criminals that were running off, and the party didn't. Ali snuck behind stealthily and then attacked one of the horses, drawing the party's attention to her, and was subsequently knocked unconscious. In the morning, our heroes charged off first thing as quick as they could and managed to catch up with these band of assassins. We now rejoin as Lafcadio and Wampum are teleporting using Dimension Door, into the midst of the enemy creatures. Now, they are all getting ready, so they're all awake. They're not surprised, but you do have the added boon that the 4 knights haven't had the time to put their plate armor on. So the 4 big beefy knights are all wearing nothing but their skivvies. So, I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Here we go. You guys, I hope this goes well. We barely spent any time planning at all.
Why wouldn't it go well? We just march right in.
Okay. Did anyone get over 20?
Lafcadio got
Lafcadio?
Lafcadio got 25.
25. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. 15 to 20.
15 exactly.
15 exactly. Okay.
I wasn't the lowest one this time?
It's probably me.
You with a 15, Kale. Go there. Did anyone get 10 to 15?
I got a 10.
You got a 10 from us. Wow. What did Wampum get?
4.
4. And what did Graham get?
I got a 6.
Sorry. Ali got 6. Ali with 6 and Wampum. Okay, so Ali, you are currently prone and restrained.
Yep.
You know where your equipment is. And yeah, we will take it from there. Top of the round, Lafcadio, you've just appeared in the midst. Everyone's going crazy. What are you going to do?
So how long? So I have Wampum's hand axe, one of his hand axes.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take me to cut Allie's binds off?
It's an action to free her from her restraints.
Okay. In that case, I will say, "Right, Allie, we're getting you out of here," and I will grab Allie and Dimension Door back behind us.
Leaving.
I didn't
She
quite catch
sat.
that. Don't worry about it.
Okay. As you cast Dimension Door, the spell, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It is countered.
Exactly as I planned.
Mage counters the spell. Unless someone counters that counter, the Dimension Door is lost.
No.
Okay. Anything else from you, Lafcadio?
I look at Allie and I go,
Guess we'll die.
oh, okay, wait. I say, oh, I didn't see you all there. Good day, mates. What are you doing here?
Why didn't we try talking?
With that, as you tried to do that, after you, the swashbuckler character jumps up, draws rapier and a dagger, and runs over to attack Lafcadio. The first rapier attack. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Misses.
Okay. Second rapier attack. That's even worse. That's definitely going to miss. And then coming in with the offhand dagger attack. That's terrible. That's a 10 to hit. So not using those dice anymore today.
He didn't know I put in the Matrix cheat code.
I know. I'll get some different ones.
No.
I have plenty. All right. So the swashbuckler stays there in his position right up in front of you. Two of the knights get to act before Kale does. So they stand up, they approach Wampum, and drawing their swords, they will attack Wampum. The first one, with the great sword attack, that's a 9 to hit. Second is a 10 to hit, so that knight is terrible. Tonight is not a good night. I killed players today, but apparently
Karma.
not so tonight.
Apparently, they were the half-right
Second
heroes.
attack, natural 20.
Hooray. Oh, wait, I should cheer for them.
So as the great sword lands its hit, "15 points of slashing damage on Wampum. Second attack is going to miss. All right, Kale, it's your turn. Right now, there's this nice little cluster of Lafcadio next to Wampum, next to Ali, next to two knights and a swashbuckler, all clustered up.
I want to do things. I want to... Oh, boy. Who's in that cluster again, real quick? Just two... It was two knights.
Lafcadio, Wampum, Ali, prone, restrained. You have the swashbuckler and two knights.
I would like to... I'd like to cast Confusion, obviously. But not on my teammates. And I really want to hit the wizardy guy that just counterspelled with it. But can I get him and anyone else at all? I guess including my own teammates.
Position it in some way. What's the radius on confusion? It is
10 feet.
10-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to get. Actually, no. It's a 30-foot wide circle that they were in, so it's only. Yeah, I'd say you would just about be able to get the mage and two knights, but that's it.
That's
You
what
don't
I'll do.
look on Lafcadio.
Okay. And so I started this off hidden, correct?
Correct.
So would I remain hidden doing this?
Casting this spell would draw attention to you,
Okay.
particularly because it requires verbal and somatic components.
It does, yeah. And it also, so the way I'm going to cast it will probably give it away too. So he's going to reach into his component pouch and he's going to start saying the verbal stuff. And he's going to pull out 3 little walnut shells. He's going to shake them around and they like make a really annoying sound. And then he just chucks them on the ground and says the final word of the spell. And confusion erupts in the midst of his enemies.
Okay. What's the spell save DC?
It is 16 wisdom save.
So we'll do the mage first. So wisdom save.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not good.
That's a save. From the wizard. The 2 knights both fail. 2 knights are both confused.
Naked knights. Don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Okay. Other 2 knights stepping up. They're going to see you because of your position, and instead of going into the melee of the mass that's there, they're going to turn around. Both of them are going to draw heavy crossbows and fire at Kale. All right. We have... Oh. Nope, that's an 8, so that's going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
Second, that's an 18.
That is exactly what my armor class is.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Then you will take 1d10 piercing damage.
Do I get to roll it and make up what the number is myself?
Sure. We get to compare between your dice and mine.
Well, I rolled a 9.
Okay. Would you like to take what your dice says or what my dice says?
I will take what your dice says.
Okay. You take 12 points of piercing damage.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay. That is their turn done. Nos.
Right. So my movement speed is 40 feet. I think I'm 90 feet away.
That's
So-
where you to position yourself.
So I would like to start out by raging.
Okay.
Then moving, running, and I'm going to use an action surge to get as far as I can up there. And I'm hoping that by traveling 80 feet, that will put me at least 10 feet away from the swashbuckler.
Yes.
Then I will do that, and you just hear.
That
you run
requires
past them?
you to move, dash, and use an action surge to dash as well? Or
Yeah,
not? Yeah.
because I got a rage, and then I'll take a bonus action.
So then
Right.
if you move 40 foot, dash another 40 foot, that action surge, you have an action now then. You're 10 foot
Yes.
away from the
And now
swashbuckler.
I'd like to attack him.
Do you have the range?
10 feet? Yeah, if it puts me within 10 feet.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. 16 normal, 19 with advantage.
Unfortunately, you don't have the advantage, so it
Okay.
misses.
All right. I'll swing at him again.
Okay.
That is a 17.
17 hits.
Okay, good. So that's 13 magical slashing and an additional 8 radiant for divine fury.
Okay. Powerful hit there. Anything else from you?
Nope, just get off my friends.
Okay. Then we move to... it's the mage.
Yeah.
Not confused.
Oh, I have to roll a con save.
Yes,
Like a
because
hit.
12 points of...
That got messed up. 16 plus whatever. I don't think I have a con modifier.
Stood where he is, the mage is going to swirl his hands around. You'll see arcane symbols appear in the air as 3 rays of fire appear in front of him and just shoot out in a line. First ray is going towards Lafcadio.
So did Lefcadio pick me up?
Well, I touched you in Dimension Door,
Okay.
so we're far
Oh,
away.
okay.
That's a 20 to hit Lafcadio. with the fire ray.
It hits.
The scorching ray. Okay. Take 2d6 fire damage. That's 8 points of fire damage. Second ray will go towards Wampum. That's a 24 to hit.
Hits.
For 9 points of fire damage. And the third ray goes to the new combatant, Nos. That'll be a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. That's 12 points of fire damage. Okay. As he casts the Scorching Ray, he is then going to move back away a little bit, 30 foot away from the group. All right. Next up, Ali. You're currently restrained and prone. What do you want to do?
All right. If I was to try and get out of my bonds, would it be a sleight of hand?
You just need to use an action to be able to break free.
Oh, okay. I will do that then.
All right. In the mess of all of this, you use up your action. You're now free of your restraints.
Perfect. And am I able to use my... Sorry, let me pull it up. My bonus action to attempt to use the commotion to sneak back into stealth?
The question is, where are you going to hide behind? You can't just suddenly decide,
Right.
I'm hiding.
And there's no woods on either side of...
Oh, you've got a nice open field.
Okay, then never mind. I shall not do that.
Okay, are you going to stand up at least?
Yeah, I'm going to stand up.
Okay, all right. Wampum.
He yells at the mage, "You stay away from me, girl!" And he'll bring out the magical hammer that he hasn't attuned to yet, but he will start smashing one of the naked knights in front of him.
Swing away.
That is a 13.
That is going to hit, since they're not wearing their armor.
All right, 7, and he'll do a menacing attack with that. So it's an extra 8 damage and wisdom save DC 16 against being frightened.
Fails and is frightened of him until the end of his next turn.
All right, and then he will use his second attack to attack the other guy.
Okay.
That's a 10.
10 does hit, since he's not wearing any armor and has no dex.
Sweet. All right. So it's 11 plus another menacing attack. That's an extra 3 damage. Wisdom save DC 16.
The wisdom save succeeds, so no menacing, but the extra damage does still land. Okay. Anything else from Wampum?
Is he being flanked by these guys?
No, it's not being flanked. It's kind of a mess that they're just to one side of him.
All right.
Yeah.
Then he will get. So the rogue is somewhere nearby, right?
So you have you. So Lafcadio with Ali right next to him, and Wampum right there. I imagine a triangle of the three of you. Around the outside, you have one swashbuckler that's on Lafcadio, 2 that's on the edge with Wampum. So 2 knights that are on the edge with Wampum.
And
So
where is Nos in relation?
Nos is 10 foot away from the swashbuckler, so I'd say even 10 foot away from Lafcadio.
Okay. Then Wampum will pretend he's back to back with Lafcadio and say, "Back to back, kitty."
Okay. All right. Anything else from Wampum?
That's it.
Then we go up to the top of the round and Lafcadio. What are you going to do, Kitty?
I will give Allie the hand axe that I got from Wampum and my hand crossbow and some bolts. So, here, Allie, do what you need to do.
Okay.
Got it. Or am I still gagged? Or is that? I'm assuming I ripped it off.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, so what did that cost me?
So if you would have had to have drawn all of those weapons or given them away, that's just part of like your use object, your interact free action kind of thing. That's it.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will.
You won't be able to draw another weapon as well.
Can I clutch my rod of the Pact Keeper? Rod of the Pact Keeper?
Did you have your rod clutched prior to handing off all the weapons to?
Probably not, no.
Then no, you'll need to draw it.
I don't think because I have empty hands now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any more spells. I will disengage from the rogue swashbuckler.
Okay.
So then I will use my feline agility to give me double move speed this turn. And I will back off 60 feet.
Okay. All right. You run away. Then we have the swashbuckler.
More of a
Seeing
more of
that
a
you-
tactical retreat, really, is what
Yes.
that was.
Seeing that you've tactically backed up away from everyone, the swashbuckler is going to turn around and focus on Nos, stepping forward slightly to get into the physical range. Focuses on you with his rapiers. We have 2 rapier attacks. First one, that is going to be an 18 to hit.
That is.
So that'll be 8 points of piercing, plus his roguishness. Is 13 additional points.
And halved.
Yeah, because you're raging. So halved, that's 21, halved down to 10. Okay. Then second attack is going to be a 24.
It's
Okay. This time, just 9 points of piercing, halved down to 4. No sneak attack added to that. And then he will use his bonus action to offhand dagger attack you. That is a 15 to hit. I'm assuming that misses.
yeah, it misses.
Okay, cool. That is the swashbuckler dancing around you. As he has hit, he's going to run away from you and run 30 foot.
Can I get an opportunity attack off on him?
You will be unable to do so as he's a swashbuckler.
Oh, right.
So he runs chasing after the feline. So he's 30 foot away from the 60 foot away that the feline is at. Well, more like 40 foot away from the feline. All right. 2 knights, one of which, in fact, both of these are confused. So what happens to them, Kale?
They have to roll a d10 to determine what they do for their turn.
Okay, we have one that's frightened. We'll do his first.
Okay.
He rolls a 6.
6. He doesn't move or take actions this turn.
Okay, so he doesn't get to do anything. The other one, the one that isn't frightened, rolls a 2.
He also doesn't move or take actions this turn.
All right, that makes that nice and easy. Kale, what do you want to do?
I didn't think about this. I want. I'm still 90 feet away from this whole shebang going on right now.
Yes, you are. Shebang.
I will move toward it 60 more feet since my position has been revealed. I don't know what else to do. 60 feet. I guess. Who can I reach with a Toll the Dead.
What's the radius on Toll the Dead?
It's just a
range,
60-foot
sorry.
range. Yeah.
You can reach everyone except the mage.
All right, everyone except
Who
the
had
mage.
backed off.
All right, I'll go for the. Well, has the swashbuckler been hit yet?
No, not yet. Yes, actually, he has. He got hit pretty big by Nos.
Then Kel will take a shield and just like beat on it a couple times to cast Toll the Dead on the swashbuckler.
Okay. Wisdom save from the swashbuckler, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, DC 16.
That is a failure.
Yay! I get to roll 2d12s. People never roll d12s. That is going to be 17 plus 5 is some amount of numbers.
22.
Yep, you got it. 22 necrotic damage.
Ouch.
Yeah,
He's in a lot of pain.
he better be. That's what happens.
He
when you-
is heavily wounded.
And then, is this a bonus action? You know it's a bonus action, the Sanctuary spell. But can I cast that while holding on to Confusion? Because it doesn't seem...
Does Sanctuary require concentration?
No, it doesn't, but it's... like, the idea behind it is that if you're affecting anybody negatively, like an enemy at all, you shouldn't be able to have Sanctuary up. But I know there's like
I would argue that because you have already affected the targets of the confusion spell, you can't affect any additional targets as a result. I'd say yes.
Okay, so then I will be Sanctuaried.
Okay.
I'll get a little mirror out and just check myself out for a second. Make sure my hair is okay.
All right.
And
fair
that's how I
enough.
cast that spell.
Then we have two knights. These are the two knights that were firing at Kale. They need to roll wisdom saves because they would like to keep firing at Kale. I have a 17.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so still aiming the heavy crossbow at you. He's going to fire a shot. That's a 15 to hit.
That will not hit.
This is all right. The second guy, instead of making any sort of attack against you, he's going to use his leadership feat. For 1 minute, the knight can utter a special command or warning whenever a non-hostile creature that it can see within 30 feet of it makes an attack roll or saving throw. The creature can add a d4 to its roll, provided it can hear and understand the knight. So effectively, all creatures non-hostile to the knight within 30 feet of him are blessed. That is his action. We move on to Nos.
So, there's nobody standing within 5 feet of me, right?
No, the swashbuckler is 20 foot away from you.
The mage, is he more than 40 feet away?
No, he is 40 foot away.
I am going for the mage.
Okay.
I'm gonna break from where I'm at and just come at this guy charging, screaming.
Okay.
First is a 13. That's not gonna hit, is it? It's a mage. I don't know.
It misses.
Okay. Actually, this is kind of important. I'm going to go ahead and use my saving face on this. There are 3 allies within range, yes?
What's the range on your saving face?
30 feet, I think. Oh, it's 30 feet. I ran further than that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check.
You ran 40 foot at an angle. You're out of the range.
30 feet. Okay, so can't do that. Never mind. Just attack again. It's 21.
21 is going to hit.
All right, that is 14 magical slashing on top of 5 radiant.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make a half attack,
Okay.
which is a 26 to hit.
26. I think that's going to hit.
Great. And that is that right? Yeah, that's right. 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Powerful hit. A mage, under the barrage of attacks that you just landed, drops down to one knee. Anything else from you?
Nope, stand put.
Okay. Well, it's his turn now. And you've just really annoyed him.
Good.
So he's thinking about what he should do. And he's going to... Yeah, he's going to use a... Yeah, we'll do a shocking grasp since you're in melee range with him.
Makes
He's going
sense.
to launch a shocking grasp to you, which is a 5. That is a 20 to hit. Are you wearing metal armor?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. So it's just a 20. Does that hit you?
Heck yeah, it does.
Okay. Just checking. Right. So you take 2d8 damage. That's 15 points of lightning damage.
Okay. I'm looking a
And
little...
you can't take reactions until the start of his turn.
Okay.
His next turn. So he is then going to move 30 foot further away from you. And then bonus action, Misty Step another 30 foot. Okay. Ali.
All right. I am going to dash, or not dash, but run 15 feet to the right side of the circle, so I'm outside of the little combat zone. Then run the rest of the 15 up towards the horses with the stuff on it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my... Sorry, let me pull that up. My cunning action to dash the rest of the way to the horses.
Okay. So you dashed up there. You've still got your action when you get there. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing my crossbow.
Okay. All right. So, with the items that Lafcadio disarmed himself by handing to you, you run over and grab your own belongings instead. That's your action.
Well, I'm keeping the hand axe. I'm just grabbing my crossbow for the other hand.
Fair enough. All right. Then we move to Wampum.
That be me.
That is you.
So I noticed that the two knights in front of me did nothing to me this turn, right?
You ran away. Oh, no,
Oh.
Wampum, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the two knights that were on Wampum did nothing to you this
They're
time.
just standing there like this. All right, so how close is the swashbuckler?
He moved away and started chasing after Lafcadio, so he's close range. So, within movement speed.
Okay, then I will run over to the swashbuckler.
Okay. The knights, as they can't take any actions, they also can't take reactions. Yep.
All right, and then I will attack the swashbuckler twice. Well, I will swing me warhammer. 16.
To the swashbuckler, that'll miss.
And I will swing me warhammer again. 24.
That's going to hit the swashbuckler.
All right, and I will add a menacing attack to that. And so it's an extra 2 damage and save wisdom 16.
How much damage did you deal, though? I didn't...
Oh, sorry, 9 plus 2.
Okay. All right. He's looking very hurt. And wisdom save? 18, so he succeeds.
I will action surge and hit him again.
Okay, go ahead and swing.
First is a 12.
It's going to miss.
Second is a 22.
22 is going to hit.
So with the That's 12 damage, and I will throw a distracting strike on top of that.
Okay.
For an extra 5 damage.
As this swashbuckler is running, from what it looks like, running away from Nos and running towards Lafcadio, Wampum swings with the hammer, knocks him down. That is the swashbuckler down.
Sit down, you darn pointy sword wielding fool. And I'll turn back around. Who's next?
Okay.
That's it.
Lafcadio's next.
Oh, crap. I'm Lafcadio. All right, this will be an easy one. I will grab my Rod of the Pact Keeper, and I will get a spell slot back, and I'll say, "Great job, Wampum! You the man!" And that's it.
That's it. Okay. We have the two knights still confused. Let's see what they do. I got an 8.
8. Creature uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. If there's no
The only
creatures,
creature within its reach is the other knight.
better roll for a hit.
He's going to roll to hit with his greatsword. That'll be a 20 to hit, which will hit for 2d6 plus 3. That's 9 points of damage to that knight.
Neat.
Okay. The other knight rolls a 6 on his confusion.
He doesn't do anything.
Okay. Then we move to Kale.
So these guys, they didn't actually kill anybody.
Nope.
They
Okay.
attempted to kill somebody.
Yeah. They could have... take care of that in
They
character.
didn't kill Ali.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. All right, well, I'm going to move another 30
Did
feet
they?
closer, I guess. Which of my allies are now in my range? Everybody except Nos?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I will cast Aid at 3rd level on those 3 people. Wampum and Lafcadio and Allie. So they each gain 10 hit points, and their hit point maximum also goes up by 10.
So casting aid
Mm-hmm.
whilst sanctuaried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't affect an enemy creature, so I think it's okay to do that. And it doesn't require concentration.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, cool.
So that's
Anything
all
else,
I'm
Kale?
doing.
All right.
That's it.
We have the 2 that were separated that were attacking you. First one is going to still fire off shots towards you, Kale. So I need a wisdom save in order to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 20.
Oh, yeah, that'll... Well, the attack. He can attack.
He can attack you. I
Will
should have
he
saved the
hit?
natural 20 for the attack. All right. So that's 5.
Ha!
Not going to work. He does get to add his bless. That makes it a 6. Okay. All right. That's him done. The other one, now that he's used his leadership, is going to run 30 foot towards Wampum. He'll run up to Wampum, pulls out his sword, and attacks twice. First attack is going to miss. Second one is also going to miss. Terrible.
Who learned you to fight with swords, you dolt?
Nos.
I'm gonna shake off those voltages, and then I'm gonna continue after the mage, and that should put me 20 feet away from him ish.
Yeah, at the end of your movement, you're 20 foot away.
At which point, I would like to chuck a javelin at him.
Okay.
And can I do this non-lethally, or would that be too tough?
What's the range on a javelin? Like the normal
30.
range?
30.
30 is a normal range. I would say if you're willing to take the disadvantage,
I'm not.
then you do it lethally.
Okay.
Do it recklessly.
I can't with a ranged attack.
We're loose cannon cops on the edge.
So I got a natural 1. I got an 8.
That's gonna miss.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Nope. There you go. There's my turn.
Okay.
Good luck, guys.
Well, with his turn, seeing that went that way, okay. All right. I have a moment. He's going to cast a spell. And he disappears from view.
I counter spell.
Can you?
I don't know. How far away is he?
He is 60 foot away from where Nos was, which is at least 40 foot away from where you are now.
Okay.
So, no.
We've gone running off into the night pretty much.
Yep. He goes invisible. All right. Ali.
All right. So the leadership knight is next to Wampum, correct?
Yes, he is.
All right.
There's now 3 knights and pretty close to Wampum.
All right. Allie is going to, now that she's behind him, gonna run up behind him with her hand axe and attempt to smack him in the back.
Okay.
And I do not have proficiency with this weapon. And that would be a 15 and 0 modifiers, correct?
15 hits.
Oh, right. And that does 1d6 damage for 4 damage. And it's not a sneak attack, but I also can make a hand crossbow attack now, which will be a sneak attack, since I have not used one this turn. And that is a 11.
The 11 will hit.
All right. And that will do 46 plus my crossbow damage, which is 1d6 plus 4. So we'll do that first. So 7 plus 11, 15, 17 damage.
Okay. He's hurt. Anything else from you?
And then I'm going to disengage as my nimble.
Okay. You've used your movement to get up to him. What's the point in disengaging? You don't have any additional movement.
Right, but with cunning action, I can take a bonus action to disengage.
Yes, disengage allows you to be able to move without provoking attacks of
okay.
opportunity. It doesn't give you any additional movement.
Okay, then I will stay where I am.
Okay. All right.
I wanted to mention to Allie that hand axes are simple weapons and rogues are proficient with simple weapons.
Oh.
For next time.
Good to know.
All right. Wampum.
That'd be me. All right. Some guy came up to me. I'm going to bash him over the head with my hammer twice.
Go ahead.
All right. First one is a 17.
That'll hit.
For 13 damage. And second one is a 16 for 12 damage.
That hits. That kills that knight. So the leadership knight is down, crushed under the weight of the hammer. Anything else?
Is there anyone? So there aren't any enemies where I am?
There are 2 more within 15 feet away from his position.
And they're both knights?
Both knights, both confused.
I will step right up to one of them and spit in his face.
Okay. And then we move to Lafcadio.
Lafcadio will so he stood still for a round, so he's going to use his feline agility again to now run back up.
Yep.
Can he get to where the knights are?
Yes.
All right. Then he will just use his whip. No, whoosh,
So you pull out the whip.
whip and make 2 attacks. 20 and a 11.
Both hit.
Both for 7 points of slashing damage, so 14 total. Whoosh, whoosh.
Okay. To one of the knights, or were you attacking both of them separately?
Just one of them.
Okay. All right. Anything else from you?
That's it.
All right. We move to the 2 knights there that are still confused. They keep failing their wisdom saves against the confusion. So, I have a 9.
Oh, I think they can do whatever they want.
He gets
for
to
the
act
9.
and move normally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Seeing the cat person right there, steps right up, and he is going to,
Mate, there's a dwarf here too, just saying.
yeah, but he will sacrifice. Well, no, he's looking pretty hurt, so he will just make 2 attacks at Lafcadio with the greatsword. That will be a 16 to hit.
Miss.
Second attack is a 21 to hit.
Hits.
Okay, that is 8 points of slashing damage. Okay. And then we move to the other knight. Yeah, the other knight. He's going to roll a wisdom save. And still fail, so he's still confused. The other knight rolls a 0.
So that's a 10.
So that's a 10.
Yeah.
So he can act and move normally. He does the same thing, steps up to attack Lafcadio with the greatsword. That's a natural 1. And that's a 17.
Miss.
Both missing. All right. End of his turn. He saves from the wisdom save. No longer affected. Kale, what are you going to do?
So what's left? Just these 2 knights?
You've got 3 knights.
And one of them's pretty jacked up. I know that.
One of them hasn't been touched. He's the one still with the heavy crossbow trained on you.
And the other one is just right. Okay. I should probably... Ooh! Oh! Hey! Go ahead and use one of these 2nd level spell slots I got so many of still. So just vocal and somatic. Kale will just shout, calm down, and like wave a hand across the air and use the calm emotion spell on just everybody
Okay.
that he can get within a 20-foot radius. So they will need to make DC 16 charisma saves.
Mm-hmm. Now this, I would say, removes your sanctuary.
Yeah, it would.
Right, so each humanoid within a 20-foot sphere, radius sphere, so it's actually quite big. You can get a lot of people in that. So, charisma saves.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to roll those 2?
I was
Yeah.
going to ask, so it has 2 different effects. Can I use the good one on my allies and the bad one on the bad guys? Or
So the way it works is each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere a creature can choose to fail the saving throw if it wishes.
Mhm.
The creature fails the save, choose one of the following effects. So you get to choose what affects them. They don't get to know what the effects are.
Can I choose which target gets which effect, or is it one effect for every target?
You choose which effect
For which target? Okay.
for each target. All right.
Sounds
so
good.
that is a failure from one of the knights, a success from another knight. I'm assuming 16 is the DC,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a charisma save.
and a fail from this third. So you got 2 knights that failed, 1 that succeeded.
So those 2 guys are now indifferent
Okay.
about any creatures that it's hostile toward.
Now in that radius, you still also include Ali and Wampum.
Okay.
I will fail.
Okay. Then you are no longer charmed or frightened if you were before. And you can't have any of those happen to you, as long as I'm concentrating on the spell. And then Wampum.
Wampum failed his save, so.
Same thing for him. He's fearless. He's already fearless, but he's literally fearless now. So yeah, then he'll say, just don't. Everybody, just stop. Just stop for a second. This is over.
Okay. Anything else from you, Kale?
Nope.
All right. Well, the knight with his weapon still trained on you is still going to fire off his heavy crossbow at you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it'll definitely hit me.
As this nice big bolt connects with you, you'll take 10 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, not 100. 10. Okay.
You need to roll a con save.
What is that? Oh, it's a 20.
So you succeed. Okay. So you keep hold of calm emotions. All right. That is him done. He is then going to move back away from the group a little bit. And we move to Nos.
All right, I'm gonna look around wildly. Can't see the mage. Okay.
Would you
I'm gonna
like
turn
to spend your action trying to find him?
No,
Okay.
I need to kill things. So I'll turn back around and run my 40 feet back, and chuck a javelin. I would like to chuck a javelin at the one that was obviously attempting to go after Kale.
Okay.
Is that a disadvantage? Is that outside 30 feet?
You were 40 foot away. I would say, yeah, you're still at quite a distance away from the group. So yeah, it's a disadvantage.
Oh my gosh. That's 2 nat 20s. I got a 27 and a 27.
Move the camera.
Yeah. Oh, can you even see it?
Nope.
Nope. I guess not.
Yes, I can.
I'll,
You
I'll
can.
screen
Can you?
print it and I'll show you
It's
later.
all right. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I believe you. I trust you. Go ahead. What happens when the javelin hits and crits at disadvantage?
7 points of piercing.
Everyone hears this javelin almost whistle and scream as it flies through at an incredible pace. It hits into the knight currently holding the heavy crossbow. Oh.
I think my divine fury can still apply to this. It just says a weapon attack.
Does the divine fury damage add extra damage to the attack, or the weapon deals extra damage?
While you're raging, the first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attack takes extra damage equal to blah blah blah. Extra damage is necrotic or radiant. You choose type.
Yeah, as it's the extra damage and it's not part of the actual attack. This is always a bit unclear. I need to clarify what. There are some weapons that are crit doubled and not. We'll say this is. Go ahead and roll the crit on that.
You want me to roll critical on that?
So double the.
Okay.
Radiant.
Yeah. Sure. All right. 14 radiant.
Okay. So a total of 21 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right. That hurts him. Nice little chunk. All right. Anything else?
Nope, not for now.
Okay. Then we move to the mage. Invisible. He's going to move. Yeah, he'll just move, and that is all he's going to do. Right, to Ali.
Can Ali reach the guy that just got hit with the javelin?
Yes, you can.
I am going to yell out, "The gig is up! You're outnumbered! Surrender, and we'll spare you, villains!" And she's going to go the way, and as she's kind of headed that way, would she be able to get a gist of whether this guy is...
Are you trying to actually use your action to influence his behavior, or are you
Yes.
just flush?
Trying to
Okay,
influence.
if you are using your action, go ahead and make either a persuasion or an intimidation check.
All right, I will do a persuasion. That'd be a 13 plus 4, so 17.
It seems to have no effect on him.
All right.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Allie will dash up into the air.
Okay, flying. All right. Then wampum.
All right, so I'm standing here with my warhammer, and I get the sense that these guys have calmed. Is that fair to say?
Yes, you do. You seem to have calmed.
Girl, where's that mage go? All right, the other guy, I don't get the sense. Can I reach the other guy?
Yes, you can reach the other
All
guy.
right, I'm gonna rush him and I'm gonna smack him twice with my hammer.
All right. Go ahead and hit him.
That is a 14
That will hit.
and a 22.
Both will hit.
So a total of 16 damage.
Okay. As you have harmed the one that was wielding the heavy crossbow that was separated away, the two that were calmed were witness to that and are no longer calmed.
Yeah, so like while you guys were doing that, Kayla's just like, no, what are you doing?
Okay. Anything else
Allie's-
from one?
Nope, Wampum's pretty happy with what's going on here.
All right, back up to left cardio. The knights are looking tired and hurt. What is left cardio doing?
He's going to slash his whip some more.
Okay.
That is a 17 and a 25.
Both will hit.
Total of 16 damage.
Okay. As that strikes down on that guy, he falls. Anything else?
Is the other guy right next to?
Yes.
I will stay where I am.
Okay. All right. Then we have the knight that's right there. No longer calmed or confused. He can do whatever he wants. And what he wants to do is attack left cardio. That is going to be a 24 to hit.
Hits.
That hits for a grand total of 11 points of slashing damage. Second attack will be a natural 1. So that misses. All right, Kale.
Kill just he pinches the bridge of his nose. And it's like, whatever, fine. We'll just kill everybody, I guess. And he will. What's he gonna do? I'm still 30 feet away from the business, and then the horses were probably another like 20 feet beyond that. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, he's gonna. What's he gonna do?
Just give up. Just roll over.
He's just gonna lay down and wait for death.
There we go. Done.
He's gonna. I guess I'm just gonna sprint towards the horses,
Okay.
and then bonus action put sanctuary back up.
All right. We do still have the knight that is wielding the heavy crossbow, with Ali up above him.
Yep.
He's gonna fire. He's taken
Brings
you
back
down
memories.
once already tonight. And that is a 24 to hit.
Totally hits.
So that deals 10 points of piercing damage.
All right, and I am going to half that with Uncanny Dodge.
Okay. Right.
And that was 10 points?
10 points.
All right, so I lose 5.
All right, we move to Nos.
Nobody wants to play with me.
There's still
Does 40
2 knights left over.
Does 40 feet get me to either one of them?
Yes, it does. It gets you right into the thick of everyone.
Great. Is anyone still harrying Lafcadio?
Yes, still one more.
Going for that one.
All right.
16.
16 will hit.
All right, that's 15 magical slashing on top of 5 for divine fury. And then again, that is a nat 19, and I'm a champion. So that's 13 points of additional slashing.
Okay. Powerful hit. Anything else from you?
Yell in his face.
Okay. All right. Immediately after you, you glimpse the mage as he becomes visible. About 100 foot away from all of you. And a nice big fireball spell which catches everyone except for Kale in its group. Now, thankfully, this mage happens to be, as I enjoy, an evoker, so he can sculpt his spells, and his knights are not affected by it. So, I need dexterity saving throws from everyone except Kale.
Hooray! And I'm going to use evasion.
Got an 11. That's not going to make it.
All right. That is...
Lafcadio has a 14 and Wampum has an 18.
That is a 19 total dexterity save.
Bear with me 1 second. I will grab you all individually in a moment to check what they were again.
Sorry, it sounded
Hopefully
like
it's
you
just the-
you dumped all your dice out. We'll give you a moment to pick all those back up.
All right, thanks. So, Lafcadio, what did you get?
14.
You take, you succeed. You take half damage at 15 points of fire damage. Wampum, what did Wampum get?
18.
Succeeds, half damage at 15. Nos, what did you get?
11, and that's with danger sense.
That fails. You take 30 points of fire damage. And then, Ali, what did you get?
19,
Okay.
and I have evasion, so if that passes, I take no damage.
Okay. Then that ends the mage's turn. He's 100 foot away from all of you. Wampum.
Okay, Wampum still has a knight in front of him, right?
Yes.
He's gonna hit the knight twice with his warhammer.
Question.
Answer.
We're in the darkness, yeah?
No, this is morning.
Oh, okay.
Midday, actually.
All right, a 22 and a 9.
The 22 is going to hit.
7 points of damage.
All right, 7 will actually finish off that night. You have one left.
Okay, and I'm heading towards the mage.
Close enough. Okay, so you're running towards the mage.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. You'll get 25 foot along the 100 foot run. Okay. Anything else from Wampum?
That's it.
Lafcadio.
Okay, so I haven't moved, so I'll do. Oh, and there's a knight right here by me, right?
Yep. Yes, there is. One left.
I will risk it. I will run 60 feet with my feline agility.
That is a 15 to hit.
Misses. What's this? I run very daintily. And I will.
What you gonna do?
I can see the mage.
And see the mage.
All right. I'm going to put a wall of fire around him.
When are you going to cast Wall of Fire?
After I moved.
Okay, so how far away from him are you?
So I moved 60 feet, so I am 40 feet away.
Okay, he counter spells.
Exactly what I wanted him to do.
That
Is
is
my
his
real spell.
third
You fell into our trap.
full slot, so that is that. Anything else?
I'm not a very bright spellcaster. I don't know if you all have caught on to this yet. So
All right.
the risk you take when you take a pact. I'm done.
Well, one last night. No, actually, this guy's died. We have Kale.
Okay, what's it take for me to get on one of these horses and move away from everything?
5 foot of movement. Well, half your movement, actually. Sorry, takes half your movement to get on.
And then the horse has its own movement, right?
Yep. At that point, he becomes a controlled mount, and you can control him to move, and then either take the dash, disengage, or dodge action.
And then I can still take actions as normal?
Yep.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Is I'm going to get on a horse with half my movement. He's just going to jump up on there like he knows what he's doing, because he totally does. And he's going to urge the horse over to like within 30 feet, I guess. Well, I can move 50 feet, and then that would put me 50 feet away from the mage, right? Because he was 100 feet out.
He was 100 foot away from the group. You were separated off at least 20 foot away from them. So he's 120 from your current position.
All right, that horse is dashing.
Okay, so move, dash. Horse is at 100 foot. You've used half of your movement.
Mm-hmm. And then, so I'm now within 20 feet of this dude, right?
Yes, you are. Yes.
All right. An item distasteful to the target. I don't know what that would be. So he's going to get within 100 or 20 feet of this guy. He's going to take out his book and hold it up and invoke the name of his god to cast the banishment spell on that guy. So he has to make a charisma save.
All right. What's the DC on that?
16.
Okay, 17.
Son of a bitch.
I know, right?
And I just dropped Sanctuary.
Oh, you dropped that a while ago.
He,
When you
he
did
Let's put
cast
it back
emotions.
on.
Oh, you okay? Fair enough.
But since it's a bonus action, I'm just going to cast it again.
Okay, fair enough. All right, moving on. We do have one last night. Ali's still there. Wampum's still there. No, Wampum started running off. Ali is still there. He is going to attack Ali with the crossbow. That's 12. That's going to miss. All right.
Okie dokie.
Nos.
I'd like to close in on that guy.
The one that still attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Non-lethally. That is another critical. That is a 20.
Another critical? Yeah, that'll hit.
So that's 16 slashing.
That finishes him off.
All right. I did say non-lethal.
Yep.
All right,
Describe
so-
to me how you non-lethally kill him.
Well, I don't kill
Oh.
him.
No, but non-lethally drop him.
Nice try.
like-
Trick question.
I like to just twist my blade so that the flat part is facing the enemy, and then I just like to bash him in the back of the head.
Okay, fair enough.
Knock him out cold quickly. Okay, so I guess that's it.
Okay, fair enough. Then we have the mage. So Kale is within 20 feet of him. Lafcadio is 40 foot away. And Wampum is about 75 foot away. So he is going to use a second third level spell slot. No, his third, sorry. No, he's used all three. Invisibility, Misty Step, and Scorching Ray. Okay. Ooh, he's running low on stuff that he can do. So he is going to run forward 20 foot towards Kale, pull out his spellcasting focus, and in a full-on Hadouken is going to launch a thunder wave at Kale.
No, the poor horse!
So, okay, since it's an AoE, he doesn't have to do a save for Sanctuary, right?
Correct.
Fair enough.
So each creature in a
gotcha.
15-foot cube originating from him must make a con save.
Oh, I'm
So
really
that's
bad
you.
at that.
And the horse.
All right. Do I roll for the horse as well?
I'll roll for the horse.
Okay.
The horse failed.
I succeeded.
Okay.
So.
So, you take half damage for succeeding. So it should be 12 points of damage. You take 6. You're not pushed. However, the horse failed, takes the full 12 points of damage, gets pushed 10 foot. You're on top of it. It gets knocked prone. You get knocked prone as well as you hit the floor.
Oh, I wanted to imagine like Skyrim physics where the horse just happened above him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As that lands, that was 20 foot of movement that he moved. He is going to move. So he knocked you back 10 foot. He's going to move an additional 10 and stand above you and threaten to kill Kale if the rest of you don't leave him alone. Ali,
Yeah.
you're 100. Well, you're about
I'm
70
a far
foot away from him. What are you gonna do?
So I'm 70 feet away, and Kale is knocked prone, and he's threatening to kill him.
Yep.
Allie is. I let out a sigh, and I just kind of put my hands up, and I point at his buddy that's on the ground near me with the crossbow. Loaded, I say, "Trade for a trade. We'll let you go with your friend. You let us go with ours."
Okay. Roll an intimidation check.
18 plus. What is my intimidation? Plus 4. 22 total.
Okay. Fair enough. He could care less about the knight. He believes you, 100% believes that you'll kill the knight if he kills Kale, but honestly, yeah. Anything else from you, Ali?
Can I hold my turn?
You've already taken your action.
Oh, okay. Then I take no further actions.
Okay, Wampum.
So Wampum's going to keep on running. So make another 25 feet. And he will throw one of his hand axes at the mage at probably disadvantage. It's 20 foot, 60 foot.
20 foot, yeah, just about.
Is it 20 foot?
Yeah, 20 foot, you can do it.
So 17.
17 will beat the mage armor, so that will hit.
All right, so that's 9 slashing damage.
That is how many hit points he had. So, how does Wampum do this?
So last of them, he Mohican style. He's running. He drops his warhammer and he pulls out a war axe and it goes, and it just sinks right into the guy's forehead.
Okay. As he gets taken back, the falls to the ground with a heavy thud. Kale, you see him just drop in front of you. The area's a bit of a mess, what with all of the spells and the magic, the damage that's happened. What do you guys want to do?
Retrieve my axe.
I'm gonna go to the horse that has my gear and get all of that back.
Okay.
Put on my armor because I've been almost naked this entire time, covered in quarrel scratches and scorch marks. For some reason, I don't feel as embarrassed as I should be. I'm assuming that calm emotion spell is still in effect?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's up to him whether or not he still has concentration on it, Kale.
What's going on? Sorry.
Is calm emotion still on?
Yeah, I forgot to roll a con save for it. It would be, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should be more embarrassed. And she's just kind of tugging on her leathers. To be honest, I didn't really think any of you would come for me.
Why would you think that, mate?
Well, no one's ever came to help me before.
Well, you're part of a team now.
Oh, that makes perfect sense, I guess.
By the way, Nos is limping badly, and half of her clothes are burned off, and her face is completely covered in her own blood.
So she had a good time.
And she'll casually just be limping around collecting her javelins.
All right. Kale will also limp bloodily over to Nos and hold a hand up for a high five. Slap. He'll cure wounds. We'll do it at second level. Why not? Why shouldn't I do it at second level? I can do it at second level. I got slots. So that should be 3d8. What are these d8s? These are d8s. 11, 13 plus 5 is 18 hit points. There you go, buddy.
Thank you. I think my kidney came back.
I hope so. You need those.
Lafcadio's cleaning himself. Look at that. Allie, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Allie, what were these jokers doing with you? You were with them for a while. Did you catch anything? Well, their plots, their schemes. Back in
I was
Tribor.
asleep for most of it. The wizard was talking with one of them, but he was in the lead and I was on one of the back horses. So I couldn't catch much at all.
Should we try to save any of these folks? Are they worth saving? I mean,
they didn't kill me.
That one's still alive.
Let's tie him up and we'll heal him up. How about that?
We should probably take his weapons and any items he has on him as well. Allie is going to begin looting the bodies.
Okay. So on all of these bodies, for the second time, I regret, but you have 4 sets of untouched plate armor. I don't need to give these guys any gold. This is just, they're going to get it all this way.
Well, magical items are being hoarded right now, so what all can we buy with it?
Oh, it's true. Makes sense. All right, so you get 4 sets of plate. The swashbuckler's armor is damaged beyond repair. Normal repair, anyways. But you can grab all of their weapons. So that's 4 great swords, 2 rapiers, a dagger, 4 heavy crossbows, and their belongings. Their supplies were 2 weeks worth of rations.
Is anybody writing this down?
I am.
It.
Okay. So 2 weeks worth of food and rations for the full party of 6 of them. So it's actually 120 portions of rations that can be split up however you decide to do that, amidst some minor gold and coin on their person.
Allie is.
Yeah.
Oh, Allie's gonna go over to the dead wizard with the axe in his face and just kind of wrench the axe out, stow it under her arm with the other hand axe. And does he have the book with him that he was using as a focus?
He does have his spellbook on him.
She's gonna pick up the spellbook, toss that under her other arm, so she's kind of hauling everything. Walk over to Wampum, hand him his 2 hand axes. She'll even use her little scarf that she has now recovered and kind of wipe off a piece of blood. And then move over to Kale and toss over the book.
After Allie's done rooting through his belongings, Nos is actually going to grab the wizard's body and drag him all the way back to the circle. I'm particularly interested in this guy, knowing that the attack on the Lady of Tribor was from the Arcane Brotherhood. So I'm trying to find correlations to the Arcane Brotherhood and potentially any information about why he was here and what he was doing.
So you can see clearly that on his person, his robes seem to be damaged in some fashion, which does indicate it is definitely him that had the portion torn off that you'd claimed from Darathra. There isn't really anything else. I mean, he is a assassin spy individual, so very limited evidence purposefully taken.
What about the swashbucklers? Are they human?
Okay, all of them are human. The swashbuckler himself doesn't appear to have any sort of symbols or signification on him that should indicate he's part of the Arcane Brotherhood. He didn't cast any spells either, so it does also mean that he probably isn't.
Is he
By
wearing
the way
like
that he looks, the kind of armor that he's wearing, the weapons that he's carrying, very much hails from Luskan.
Is he wearing anything that is unique that can indicate this particular fallen body, like a trophy?
Not particularly. Seems
What about-
like your standard mercenary that would have been hired from the town for this purpose.
What about the mage? Is there anything he has that is unique that I could take as a trophy?
The biggest thing that's kind of unique to him has not been damaged, actually, but it's close to being damaged. The skin of his forehead is tattooed blue.
Ugh. Okay, I'm not gonna
You
like
could take
this.
that.
I'm not. Yeah, Knots is a big girl. She's going to attempt to take that.
Okay. The tattooed skin actually reaches back down to about the back of his head. It is a strip of blue. When it covers over his forehead, there is a circle of untattooed skin that kind of makes the image of a target, like an aim situation. You can claim that
Gross.
as a trophy. Yep. You scalped him.
For the record, I am not enjoying this.
Anything else you guys would be doing with these bodies or with this site? Are you going to continue chasing the trail back to Luskan, or are you going to head back to perform your, like, what you had promised previously?
Yeah, well, we promised we'd head back, so let's just do that. I need to rest for sure.
So what happened while I was gone?
You mean with the tower?
Yeah. Last I knew, I just saw it was on fire, and there were people running, and they were running. I was flying. It was a whole load of fun.
Sure. I'll tell you all about it on the way back, maybe?
Perfect.
Great, because I need to open up my notes.
I'll tell you.
I mean, I
Darathra
kinda-
was in the building when it fell, and I went in. Lafcadia helped me save her.
Hmm.
She
I
had
mean,
a-
for assassins, they were very noisy.
she had a dagger in her that was magical in nature. I don't know who has it.
I kind of leaned in. Magical how?
Something about not allowing wounds to close. I don't really know.
Yeah, and the fire was actually set by the protector herself. It was her retribution. She was trying to protect herself and prevent them from escaping.
Oh.
That's what happened. I'm not sure why Luskin would send people to assault her, but I suppose it's something we can ask her when we get back.
She says she's a member.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. So,
She said she was a member of the Hoppers. Have you heard of that group?
I am going to bluff.
Perception.
That is a 19 plus 4, 23, I think.
Okay. When she says yes, you believe her.
Well, as you know, they have headquarters all over the place, and apparently there's one in the next town over. If we escort her to that town, I guess she's feared for her life. If we bring her over there, she'll give us the use of their teleportation network, which will get us to Silvery Moon a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah. Ellie was definitely playing dumb and probably was trying to seem like she doesn't know anything about the Harpers because she's part of the Zentarum. And they usually clash.
So, Allie, next time you're on your own, maybe stick to just trying to track people without engaging them at all.
Well, it was nighttime. I didn't think they'd be able to see me. I thought they were humans, and I just tried to shoot their horse with a poison to slow them down so we'd catch up later. And then the mage shot me with a bunch of spells. It was very crazy. And then they all shot me with crossbows. I'm surprised I'm alive.
I'm gonna hand Allie one of the bottles of tequila.
For me?
Well, I guess you can drink all of it, but this is for sharesies.
Oh, usually I'm the one that gives everyone gifts. She I unswig it, take a small swig, and hand it back.
You all right?
I'm fine.
Good. Yeah, you sound like you had a rough night.
Mm.
In fact, pass that around. Everybody's had a rough day here.
She passes it to Wampum.
I think Wampum's actually fine, right? Did he get that at all?
Yeah, like the people who could take damage didn't take any damage that fight. That stunk.
Well, he took about 40 points of damage, but 10 of it was absorbed from the aid.
Yeah. And Allie took 5, and she had 10 temporary HP.
So I was distracted for a minute. We heading back to Tribor, right?
Yes.
Do we want to bring this guy with us and question him, or what do we want to do with this guy?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Most definitely.
So
Shouldn't just leave him out here.
all the ones we tied up, should we bring them all and let them face justice in Tribor?
Did we
Can
not
we
kill the rest?
Every single one of them is dead except for the one that was specifically called out to be non-lethal damage.
Oh, at the end I said, should we heal them up? Were they beyond healing?
They were beyond saving.
Oh, okay.
We should bring the wizard. Kale, you can use that spell that you talk to the dead, right?
Well, the reason that worked before is because the deceased didn't know me beforehand. That gentleman would know me. It would recognize me as an enemy, and would be there. The spell doesn't compel anybody to answer truthfully, so I don't know that we get reliable information out of him.
Darathra might be able to do something though. she has resources, and she will probably be interested in knowing why the heck these guys attacked her.
Absolutely.
Let's bring them all.
Mm-hmm.
I had a thought when we were talking to that nice fella who was running the shop. I asked him about the horse merchants in town, and he mentioned that there was one who was down on his luck. Uh, would you all be opposed to us giving him these horses rather than selling them to the other merchants?
That's a
It's
great
fine
idea.
with me. Yeah.
Well, then we'll do that.
And I failed to mention because everything happened so quickly. I did get one of these bags, and he pulls out his bag of holding and he opens it up and shows everybody the empty void inside because he hasn't put anything in it yet.
Oh yeah, mate, I forgot to compliment you on that nice pointed hat you got there. It's really sharp.
Ah,
It's got all the
Yeah,
It
stars.
stars.
matches your
very much.
scarf.
well, thank you very much. Yes, I felt very good about the purchase.
Right, as well you should. It's very fetching.
But I suggest we break down that plate armor so it'll fit in the opening here. It's not very elastic or anything. It only opens up so wide. But if we're going to transport that and perhaps sell it or give it away to an armorer or something, this is a good way to do it.
I vote we sell it.
That's fine.
Plate armor weighs 65 pounds, so 4 of them.
Would be 260 pounds total.
260. Okay, so he's already double
I've
checked.
done the math.
All right, fair enough. All right.
So yeah. So and then on the ride back, I would like to take a look at that spell book, see what's going on with that.
No problem. So you guys had a run 8 hours straight. You can't move more today before taking a long rest without risking exhaustion. So you can move a couple miles away from the battle site.
Okay.
In an hour. You can move like up to 3 miles. And then at that point, if you want to go any further, you risk exhaustion.
So it's mid-morning now, so we would be traveling at night.
No. So what they did was they ran at first light. 8 hours in. It's now mid-afternoon. You guys would relax for 8 hours and then sleep for 8 overnight. And then you can start moving again first light.
Boy.
You can look over the spellcaster's books. Doesn't have much in them. Particularly, I'll send you the spells that he has
Okay.
later.
What's a little weariness? Why don't we just head back?
Yeah, I'm actually all right with that.
I could go
Sure.
all day. All I've been doing was sleeping.
I'm glad you're so positive about your capture.
I like to think of it as a learning experience.
I'm a huge fan of learning experiences. So I would like to agree with you.
I'm gonna call down to say, Nabanyan, heal my wounds, and I will cast or use my healing light to heal 19 HPs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna cure wounds myself too, I guess.
And I think I will actually do that twice.
And I'll just stand here bleeding out of my face.
I,
No, it's
do you
cool.
not
It's
get
normal.
enough?
Yeah, I'm still pretty hurt, but it's nothing I can't handle.
I mean,
No, really, it's nothing I can't handle, especially if we plow through
Well,
the rest of the afternoon.
We could take an hour. We could collect ourselves and take a short rest before we head out. Would that be all right with everyone?
Okay. So taking a short rest at the end of the hour, wampum can be attuned to the weapon. So I'll make that change on his sheet. He's now attuned to his fancy new hammer.
And I will reattune to my 2 weapons, or my medallion and my crossbow.
Okay. Attunement wasn't broken.
Oh, okay. Is the prisoner we have awake or still unconscious?
At the end of the short rest, he will be at 1 hit point and he will be conscious.
Allie wants to open his mouth while he's unconscious and investigate for any alternate ways for him to get out of questioning. She is not being subtle about this, or I am not being subtle about this at all. Allie is in professional mode and like checking his teeth so there's no like capsules.
What you doing there, mate?
Shh, I'm working.
Because cyanide pills are a thing.
No, but like he could have like a spell scar or a spell stitch or something.
You don't see anything.
Okay. He has really nice teeth.
All right.
I noticed you didn't use my crossbow during the fight. Mind if I have it back?
She hands it back, or I hand it back.
All right. When he wakes up, what are you guys doing?
I
I'm
would
assuming
like
he's
to.
gagged already.
I would like to use my medallion of detect thoughts on him.
Yes, we have tied him up.
Okay. He's just thinking he's going to die. He's going to die.
Who sent you?
No one. Not gonna tell him. Not gonna tell him.
What's your name?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. You see, you didn't kill me when I was captured. Was he the one that I was on the horse with?
No, different one.
Okay. So, you can trust me at least a little to pay that favor back.
Persuasion check.
17 plus 4.
Okay. My name is Timon.
Timon. A pleasure to meet you, Timon. I would shake your hand if you weren't tied up. My name is Allie.
He rolls his eyes.
Are you originally from Luskin?
Yes.
And I assume that you don't work for the wizard directly. He probably just hired you. You're just an innocent bystander caught in all of this. Just here for the coin, right?
Yes.
Well, then I have a business proposition for you.
Before you say anything, can I insight check to see whether or not he really is just hired help?
Insight check.
15.
Would they be hearing all of this, or would it all be just telepathically through the medallion?
You can't communicate telepathically.
Oh, okay.
The medallion allows you to be able to cast the Detect Thoughts spell on a person.
Okay.
Yeah. So during this, you question him yourself. You can get his surface thoughts as a result, but nothing else.
Okay.
So what was the insight check?
15.
He seems like hired help, but he is far more devoted by the looks of things. He's a lot more than just your average hired help.
He's more than the average hired help. He has a passion that is familiar to me.
Well, if he was hired, they're paying well. That's not cheap armor he was wearing. And look at all these supplies they have. They were loaded for bear.
Who's his captain? Ask him who his captain is. If he came from
Who is your captain?
My company captain, or would you like to know the name of the mage?
Both.
My company captain was Selith. Head of the White Hand of Luskin. The mage. His name was Tilas. He hired us to do a job for him. And the detect thoughts indicates that this stuff is true. I mean, he's not thinking about any alternative names. He's not thinking of any alternative stories as he's sharing this with you. Granted, he could be a very good liar.
Ellie, are we tag teaming? Are we ripping off of this guy? You mind if I step in and we can just, you know?
I walk over to Lafcadio and kind of whisper under my breath, "You can be the bad cop."
I think you're a little bit more frightening. All right, I'll
Shot
try
me
it.
out of the sky. I don't know how frightening I can be.
Sure, I'll try it. Listen, you. I want clarification. You say this mage hired you, but you work for the White Hand. Does that mean that the mage hired the White Hand?
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can I die now, please?
Do you want to?
I'd rather die than go back there as a failure.
I was thinking we'd take you back to Tribor for trial.
So, die, get killed, get sentenced, and then probably killed.
Hang on. There is no guarantee that they're gonna kill you after this.
Depending on how much information you give us, maybe they'll even let you off with a lighter sentence for working with us.
Deals can be made for information. I've seen it before. And
No!
even so, prison ain't so bad.
No deals for this lunatic. Hold me back, Ellie. I'm gonna
Ellie.
rip his throat out with my teeth.
Oh, that's enough out of you. He is in our care. We are not like the Zentarum or the mages in Luskin. We don't torture our prisoners.
I'm sorry.
You guys don't do this that often, do you?
No, Lefkadi, I was going to mention you've already dropped the Bad Cop Act when you thanked him very cordially for his assistance.
Look, I'll make this very simple to you. Even if your superiors, whoever arrests me, doesn't kill me, my superiors will find me and kill me anyway. So you might as well just finish me off here.
Well,
It's a waste of taxpayers' money if I end up going into custody. Just finish me off.
Well, it sounds
You kind
like
of lost the right to make your own decisions there. Sorry.
Well, it sounds like it'll be great bait. We could lure your mates out. That was good thinking. You're really helpful already. We can put you to all sorts of good use.
Right.
Have you ever tried being an adventurer?
Sorry, 1 second.
Don't evade the question.
Look, I'm very simple. I'm just a hired hand. That's all.
So what's your usual fee? How much does it take for us to hire you?
I usually get my orders from my superior.
The ones that are going to kill you?
I don't get hired individually. You hire the group. That's it.
Can I see if I can judge this guy to see whether or not, if he was given a second chance, if he'd actually try to change his ways, like if he's tired of his own life?
Roll an insight check. His attitude that he's trying to persuade anyway right now is one of he has disappointed his group and there's no turning back, so there's no point. But roll an insight check to see if there's anything else behind that.
I do have an idea, and it might have potential, I don't know, but I rolled an 11.
You can't really see anything additional behind that.
And his name was Timon?
His name was Timon.
Timon, listen, you seem like an all-right guy for a mercenary. Not that I have any room to judge, but I'll promise you this. At the end of the day, you can take a good hard look about every action you've taken up to today and where it's led you. At the end of the day, that may be standing trial. Dead by our hands, dead by your own adventuring party for failing them. But I'm going to offer you something else. You help us to help you find a new way. You don't have to be defined by your actions and choices in the past. But if you do choose to stay on your current course, I promise you, I won't let them hang you as a public spectacle. I'll put a crossbow bolt in between your eyes myself.
Roll a persuasion check.
That would be a 9 total.
If I say yes, will you leave me alone?
For now.
All right, fine. Take me wherever you need.
All right.
Right.
Allie, I'm going to just stride back over to my horse.
Okay. Do you pick him up? How are you taking him with you?
I would assume someone that's strong enough to lift him would put him on their horse.
Y'all have at it.
Okay, so you put him onto your horse with you. Now, are
Now
you
is that-
guys marching back to Tribord tonight, then?
Well, yeah. That was the plan, right?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
short rest and then...
Okay.
But while we're riding, I'll sidle up, and I'll try to talk to the guy as he's slung over Nos's horse.
trading one for the other.
All right.
Mate, I serve Lord Firemane. He goes by other names. Some call him the Lion King. Oh, what was your name again?
I'm Timon.
Timon. Oh. Well, the Lion King teaches us. We should adopt an attitude that, whatever comes our way, you just gotta let it go. You just it's not something that you have to take real seriously. I don't have the exact words to put it in. I lack that gift. But if I could adopt some sort of, I don't know, a phrase or a dogma or maybe a motto, I might come up with something. But I just lack. It's on the tip of my tongue. But we shouldn't waste anything. The Lion King teaches us we should not waste anything, and that includes you, mate. We all have purposes, and you might not have met your purpose. You should listen to Allie. She knows what she's talking about.
There is a place, and I won't look at it. Either one of them as I'm writing. It's just all stoic and awesome. There is a place where you could go to be safe. People who protect their own, but you can't go like you are now.
You guys are riding along. He's going to attempt to shift in some way that will cause him to fall off the horse to get away from this solicitation. And fail badly.
Can
Ends up-
I catch him by the britches and give him a wedgie as I pull him back on?
Yep, you just lift him right back onto the horse. And... All right. Look, I know I'm going to jail. I know my life is forfeit. What do you want from me, honestly?
You know a lot for someone who doesn't know anything.
I know what I watch, what I see, but you're not getting anything useful out of me.
How'd
So-
you get stuck in this life? Did you even have a choice?
Yeah, I had a choice.
All right, then screw you.
It was a fun life until I met you.
Yeah, definitely screw you. Lefcadio, don't talk to this guy. He's nothing but trash, and he'll never be anything but trash.
Fine. I request someone else's horse.
Denied. Can I
Fine.
intimidate him?
Yeah, go ahead. Intimidation check.
That's 14.
Okay. He's not very intimidated, but he plays the part for a moment. Ooh. Let's keep going. As we continue to march south along the long road, after the first hour of marching, I need everyone to roll a con save.
Including me?
Not including Ali, so Ali is fine.
I rolled a 20.
Did anyone roll below an 11?
Wampum has a 23, and Lefcadio has a 21.
Nos, what did you get?
I got 23.
3. Okay, so you guys are fine after the first hour. You continue marching. Second hour. One more.
Got a 9.
8.
Wampum has an 11, and Lefcadio
Man.
has a 19.
Okay.
Used up all the
Everyone who rolled below a 12 gains a level of exhaustion. Do you keep going? Do you keep marching?
Are they able to sleep in the saddle?
No. Can't do that. Plus, they can't gain the benefits of a long rest until dawn.
Oh, boy.
How's everyone doing?
You're
Bad.
8 hours march away from town. You've moved 2 hours closer, so you're only 6 hours march away.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm still very drained.
Do you march on for a third hour?
Wampum would say, yeah.
Wampum's a little tired. Just
If you guys are feeling tired, I can keep watching.
That's a great idea because I'm bad at it.
Okay. Note all of your horses failed this round.
All right. Yes. So
Are you on your own horses, or are you on the horses that that the agents had?
Oh, would have been
The
on my
horses
own.
that the agents had rested.
Right.
I would be on one of their horses because I didn't have my own horse.
Mm-hmm.
well, we brought your horse,
Oh,
but we also lost a horse on the way. Maybe we'll run into him.
maybe he went home.
Well, we'll probably lose a lot more horses on the way if we don't stop for the night. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do so well. The forced march.
All right, let's set up camp.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you're 6 hours away from town. You set up camp for the night. As these guys do set up camp, we're going to take a 15-minute break. Join us back in 15 minutes after we've had a drink, and we will continue and return to Tribor. See you tomorrow. Welcome back after the short break. Thanks for sticking with us. So, we rejoin the adventure as the party are taking a break from marching. Realizing the effect they're having on the horses, they decide to camp for the night. What sort of precautions are you going to be taking for your camp?
Well,
Same as usual. Little circle set up.
leading up, so we still have 6 hours before our 8 hours.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Wampum is going to use 2 hit dice as a short rest. So just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Allie is going to, or I'm going to secure Timon and make sure he's extra snug and incapable of running away. Maybe tie his ankles together as well.
I'd like to actually get with Kale to consciously select our field. Do you think wide open spaces is the way to go? What with these shadow mutts everywhere, or do you think we should hide ourselves away in the forests? There are some trees on the way. There are also hills.
I think since we have a very alert watchman tonight, that it might be better to be in the field so we would get advanced warning of anything coming toward us.
All right.
What are you going to do about the tag-along? Who obviously wants to die.
Tie up his ankles so he can't run away.
On time.
I'm going to crouch down in front of him and look him in the eyes, and I'm going to try and use my channel divinity to read his surface thoughts. So he needs to make a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm. Well, surface thoughts you can easily get, I believe. It's the wisdom save is to probe deeper into his mind, right?
I think not. Actually, with this one, it's a little bit different. Yeah, he has to do a wisdom save at the beginning, and if he fails, I can read his thoughts at first.
Rolled a 19.
All right, well, then he made it. I can't do it to him again. All right, well, then I'm just going to cast suggestion normal style. So he's going to sit there and he's going to look him in the eye and be like, you don't actually want to die yet. You have so many opportunities going forward to possibly escape, gain your freedom, and have a new life somewhere else. So I suggest that you just lay down and be obedient and quiet for the night.
Rolled a 15 on the wisdom save.
Failed. Suck it. My last slot.
All right. So he will stay quiet throughout the night.
And Kill, before he goes to bed, he'll walk by Allie and he'll just kind of say as he's going past her, like he's not going to do anything. Because Kale's like visibly tired at this point.
Allie is going, I know. Yeah, okay. I will try not to talk to him then.
Kill will nod and rub his eyes, and then when he goes to sleep, can I pull the hood up over on my cloak and be totally hidden while I'm asleep?
If you roll a stealth check, yep.
Sure. With advantage, right?
Yep, because you're hiding. Question is, who are you hiding from?
Just everything.
Including us.
The universe turns its eyes away from Kale for a night.
Rolls a 10 with advantage plus whatever is stealth. 13 total.
Okay. All right. So you guys set up your little bit of a camp that you've been doing regularly, and you guys will set watches. What are you going to say, Allie?
Are there any rocks or any terrain, boulders, any lone trees near us at all, or is it all flat? Maybe like knee-high grass?
That's kind of up to the area that, so Nos and Kale were looking for an appropriate camp. You are in an open sort of area that is available to you. So you do have open land. You do have some forested area on both sides that you could move over to. So it's up to Nos and Kale.
I would say, we would have probably looked for somewhere maybe slightly, would we want something elevated or the opposite of that? So we could
No,
be a little more...
You don't want to be in a valley. That would give everybody else the high ground against you.
Right. Great. So
would you want to have stuff like with your back up against areas so that you can funnel?
A single boulder might be beneficial because you can still see around it and what's approaching.
Mm-hmm. And plus, whoever is on watch can be on top of the boulder, and that gives them a larger swath of vision.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys take those precautions.
I'll take the first watch.
No. No, I will take the first watch. You guys came to get me. I owe you so much. Get some sleep. I promise I will wake you if anything happens.
Right. I'll take the second watch then.
Okay, Ali, roll a perception check.
And is it with advantage due to the... Let's see.
It wouldn't be.
Perception. All right. Some of the things I'm good at. 12 plus 8 is 20.
Okay. As the night is drawing in, you begin to watch the shadows of the area around you elongating and stretching. You watch as the shadows seem to get thicker and darker. The areas around the outside of the camp that are now covered in shadow, you spot another of those shadow hounds just seem to materialize and step out of the shadow itself.
Did we have a fire? Go
I
ahead.
believe you guys would usually have one.
Yep.
Maybe not. It's up to you.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
summer
totally-
and we're
Yeah.
all night vision.
Yeah, so you don't
Yeah.
really need one.
Allie is going to draw her crossbow and fire at the shadowy dogs, remembering that Nos scared them off last time.
Fire a shot.
That would be a 12 total.
Okay. Against a shadow hound. I believe that'll hit. Let me just double check. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Yes, 12 will hit. As the bolt hits, how much damage do you deal?
Well, because it has not attacked in combat, I get my assassinate, which means I had advantage, but I don't need it. And it's a critical hit.
Okay, you don't get assassinate.
Oh, okay.
Assassinate only applies if the target is surprised.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
If you yeah, okay.
And
You
it's
do
just
get
regular damage.
Yeah. just regular damage.
That would be a 5 plus 4, 9 damage. And she's going to be like, shoo, shoo, be gone.
As the hound is hit, the strike is non-magical, and it's in darkness. Oh, well, it's dim light darkness. So the attack is actually resistant, so it takes half that damage. It howls in pain, and you hear that howl was not the only howl, as 3 more howls join it. I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Eee.
Did anyone roll higher than a 20?
22.
You muted?
23 for Lafcadio.
Lafcadio with a 23. Kale, what did you get?
22.
22. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone get a 15? Or higher?
Wampum had an 18. Well, what does one level of exhaustion do? Because that was the Constitution fail, right?
Yeah, disadvantage on ability checks.
This is an ability
Initiative
check, right?
is an ability check.
Okay.
So yes,
Let me
disadvantage.
re-roll then, real quick.
All right.
I rolled. Oh, okay, no, that's not that bad. I am 18. So.
What did Wampum get?
13 now.
Okay, so Kale with the 18. 13 from Wampum. And anything else? Sorry, so 10 to 15? Okay. 5 to 10.
Me. I have an 8.
Ali with an 8. Okay. And Nos, what did you get?
A 4.
4. Right. Well, Lafcadio is asleep. So, prone. Now, not surprised. And you are awoken to danger. So you're awake when this happens. But, Ali, what you notice as this happens is somehow, for some reason, these hounds were able to materialize out of any shadow, including in the midst of the camp.
Oh.
So, this one that creeps up out, there is one that creeps up out in the center of the camp that starts heading towards Lafcadio. Now, Lafcadio, you are prone. You are woken up by the warning, the alert. What do you do?
Do I know there are shadow hounds afoot?
Yes.
Oh, woo.
You know there's danger. You would have heard the howling. You can see one that's headed towards you. Its nasty teeth just bared, ready to feast on your flesh.
So I stand up and I say, "Behold the banyan's resplendence!" And I cast daylight.
Okay. Casting the daylight shocks all of these shadow beasts, and it's actually enough. They all run away, so we don't need to worry about the rest of the initiative order there. So good job with that. But it woke you guys up, and you've learned that these creatures are able to appear out of any shadow. What would you guys be doing?
I light a fire.
Well,
Allie,
Mhm.
what'd you do? What happened?
It teleported out of the shadows in the center of the camp. I shot my crossbow at one that was far away, and then another one popped up right here.
I'm gonna stand up, wobble a little, and walk over. I'm gonna put both of my hands on her shoulders gently. I'm gonna look her in the eyes. Stop shooting at shit when you're alone. Good night.
Allie, if they're coming from the shadows, do we want to exterminate all the light? Because then there'd be no shadows, right?
But then it would be dark everywhere, and they would just teleport wherever they want.
Well, is it darkness or shadows that they come out of? Is there a difference? I ask these questions philosophically, of course, to the universe. What is the difference between darkness and shadow?
Mechanically speaking, there is no difference. You cannot have a shadow that is not in darkness. Because a shadow is the absence of light. Darkness is the absence of light. Darkness is, in effect, just simply the shadow of the earth once the sun has moved to the other side. So darkness is one big shadow.
Deep.
Found.
Well, isn't the natural state of things dark? I mean, the without the sun, which came after darkness, I would
I
posit.
stare blankly at you, just over my head.
Your prisoner is like, really? Really?
Lafcadio, who are you talking to right now?
I'm just
Go back to
expounding
sleep.
the mysteries of the universe. Is all. It's
Well,
what I
could you-
do at night,
Please just do it quietly.
Okay.
right?
Thank you.
As the rest of the night goes on, you guys will witness more creatures, not just shadow hounds, just various different types of dark creatures that don't seem to fight you or approach your little campsite. Some seem to be a little bit curious. Some shadow creatures just come to take a look and then run away. But none of them approach you to really cause any concern or issue.
Are any humanoid?
No, all of them beasts, shadow beasts. At this point, anyways. Now, at the end of the long rest, you guys all gain the benefits of a full long rest. Day is dawning, and you also all level up to level 9.
A
Dun da da da.
wait.
So, take a moment. Should be fairly quick with D&D Beyond to level yourself up. I'm curious to know what people get with this level up. So, Kale, when you level up, what do you get at level 9?
I get access to 5th level spells.
Ooh.
The ones I haven't picked, the ones that I want to pick to prepare, but the ones that I get for freezies. Where the hell is the one? Hold on. Please hold. It's I know what it is. I've stopped it. It's scrying and legend lore. I get those all the time.
Nice. All right. So more powerful magic as this shifts over. Lafcadio, what do you get at level 9?
At level 9, Lafcadio is a level 8 warlock. So on level 8, you get a ASI, which you will use a feat. And
Now, you guys can choose any of these that are options. Obviously, you can take the week next week and choose later. I'm just curious. Okay, so you're taking a feat at this point. Okay.
And I remember saying I was going to take the actor feat. Is a thing? And that
All
will
right.
give me, when I click on it, I will tell you what it is.
So now his good cop, bad cop routine will be a little bit better.
All right, so my charisma will go up by 1. I'll have advantage on deception and performance checks when trying to pass myself off as a different person, such as a bad cop. And I can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures. I must have heard the person talking or heard the creatures making the sound for at least a minute.
Okay. All right. Ali, what do you get at level 9?
All right, if I stay with going as a rogue, I can unfailingly create a false identity for myself. I must spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish the history, profession, and affiliations for an identity. You can't establish an identity that belongs to someone else. For example, you might acquire appropriate clothing, letters of introduction, and official-looking certifications to establish yourself as a member of a trading house from a remote city so you can insinuate yourself into the company of other wealthy merchants. Thereafter, if you adopt the new identity as a disguise, other creatures believe you to be that until given obvious reason not to.
Okay. Ali gets a disguise. Nos, barring any sort of choices that you have available to you, I'm curious, what do you take at the next level?
This is my fighter 4th level, so it's the ASI or feat, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Fair enough. That's fine. And I will double check with Wampum later what he takes at level 9. He is so far a full level 8 fighter, so we'll see what he takes at 9. Probably another level of fighter. All right. Then as you wake up, you're only 6 hours worth of travel away from Tribor as dawn is breaking. You all watch this curious moment of seeing you've seen lots of these shadow creatures moving around at night. As the shadows move away, as the sun begins to rise, those creatures fade from view and disappear through shadow holes.
I'm gonna be staring at this. Be like, does anyone really know if these things are evil by nature?
Well, they attacked us unprovoked.
When I first left
That
Mantle
enough?
Dirith, I thought the sun was evil.
I'm curious, would any of you be curious enough to follow one of these little beasts down their rabbit hole
No, not.
to the shadows? Okay.
Not right now.
No.
But I
Sure.
would ask, Kale, you're kind of the bookish sort, right?
I've
That's
got a
embarrassing.
few books. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give you an assignment? Would that be offensive?
It's not offensive. It's odd that you phrase it that way, but I would think of it more as a request. But sure, go ahead. If you want to call it an assignment, that's fine.
We can call it a request.
Sure.
I want to know if these things are inherently evil.
All right. So he'll flip open his book and he'll write that down as a note. He'll say, all right. I will take that down and I will find out.
You want me to call them requests? I can call them requests.
For what?
Assignments.
As far as assigning other people to help in this endeavor?
You. Is it offensive to call them
Oh,
assignments?
no. Yes. No, you're fine. I'm not offended.
All right. Pat him on the shoulder.
Thank you for your consideration, though.
Yeah, of course. You can tell me things and ask me things. I'm not going to beat you up for that.
That's very good to know. I wasn't overly worried about that, but
Good.
great.
You might not be surprised how often people do think I'm going to beat them up for very small things.
Like Adam.
Adam?
Who?
Or what's his name? Alex?
Alec.
Oh, the merchant.
Mm.
Yeah, that guy.
So, you pack up camp and you start heading in towards Tribor. You move fairly briskly towards the city and you'll reach there just after noon. You'll see that things are starting to get back to normal. The tower has begun to be repaired. Some chunks of rock have been moved off to one side and kind of piled up neatly as people have begun working on repairing the damage that had been caused. But everything has gone back to its normal state of fairly happy town. As soon as you arrive, though, Darethra Chandrel will step out and approach you all. Oh, hello, it's good to... you're all of you back. That's good. Are we good to go then? Shall we be off?
We actually brought some friends.
You did?
One. Just the one. Oh,
One and
no,
a
yeah,
half.
we brought... Yeah.
We brought the villains who attacked you. Well, what's left of them anyway? One of them is still alive and breathing. The others are dead. I don't know if you have any use for them, but here they are.
Do you usually have use for dead bodies?
You'd be surprised how often they come in handy.
Okay, I could potentially question the one that you've brought alive. I'm not sure if I'm quite capable of using the dead.
Perhaps you could determine their identities by their faces. I mean, we didn't want to just carve their faces off. That would be grim, right? So...
Okay, I'll get some people to deal with the bodies and take notes, sketches, and the like.
I can't recall our previous conversation. We did determine that this spellcaster, the other bloke, he says the spellcaster was in charge, and he's wearing these robes that suggest he's from Luskan and a member of the Arcane Brotherhood. Am I recalling everything correctly?
That's what it suggests, and the likelihood is that he is part of the Arcane Brotherhood. But you gotta check that. He might have stolen the robes from someone else. Slim chance.
This gentleman, the spellcaster, his name was Tilas. This gentleman who's still alive, his name is Samoan, and he's apparently a mercenary out of the head of he's out of the White Hand Company.
Never really heard of them myself, but that's good to know. We will take him into custody and we'll start questioning more about this Tilas fellow. Find out more about what he can do. What sort of precautions have you taken to question him? Any particular methods that we shouldn't bother with?
Conversion.
Okay, so conversion doesn't work.
We think, or at least I think that everyone has a use, and this fellow, he's been resistant to our attempts, but maybe he just hasn't heard the right song yet. So perhaps you guys can sing him another song.
Okay, we'll certainly try. I'll get members of the 12 to have a go with him. So she snaps her fingers. They rush over. They clap him in irons and then take him.
Don't threaten to kill him.
Goodbye,
Won't care.
Timon.
Have
You
no
catch a
worries,
glimpse
mate.
that this guy rolls his eyes. Finally. All right. And he's taken free from these strange individuals. All right. Well, my men will question him, but I really do think we need to report our findings and the situation to my contacts in Yata. Do you have any other business that must be performed, or should we head out straight away?
We have some gear that we wanted to sell that we acquired from them. We just don't want to be weighed down with it.
Okay. What do you have to sell?
The full plate armor, some swords, some crossbows.
We wanted to give the
And-
horses to the guy. that was having
Happy.
trouble.
All right, Rance's
Rance's Open Road.
open road. The bloke in the horseshoe shaped shop, he suggested that this Rance fellow was down on his luck. Do you know anything about that guy?
It's a bit of a gambling problem, and he gambled away too much in the past. That's all, really. I mean, he needed money, and so he sold his last stag and then lost any hope of raising another stag, and that kind of lost him all of his horses. So,
Well, Timora is not done with him.
okay. So you're giving him the horses, or are you expecting him to pay for them? Because I don't believe he has much money to be able to pay for them at all. Graham,
Mhm.
you keep flitting in and out.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm just gonna walk the horses over. Well, we're gonna need the horses. Wait, no, Kale, you have the equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll walk the horses over, and we'll just have a chat with this Rance fellow.
Okay. So the trade offer that's done is you'll get half the price for the plate armor, so 4 sets at 750 gold each, 3,000 gold. Done.
Cool. That
Okay.
goes in the bag, unless
Yeah.
somebody wants me to split it up.
The great swords, you trade, you get 20 gold per sword. You got 4 swords, you get 80 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that you were selling?
The rapiers and the heavy crossbows.
Okay, the heavy crossbows, the 4 of them, you get. He doesn't have much use for a heavy crossbow. We can't really sell it too often, so you only get 10 gold for that. So 40 gold total for those. And then the rapiers, which there were 2 rapiers, he does sell those on quite well, so you actually get 40 gold for that.
Total?
Total for both of them.
Okay.
Like, totaled up.
So 3160.
Okay. So you offload that fairly quickly. He's ready and willing to take all of that stuff. The dropping off the horses, or are you trying to sell the horses to the proprietor of Rance's Open Road?
Well, I'd like to have a chat with this Rance fella.
I'm gonna go with you. I need to talk to this guy.
Okay. As you approach the household, it looks fairly weathered, old. building. There is an open field out back, but there is nothing in it. The grass is overgrown. It's been growing for a while. The fellow that steps out as you kind of draw his attention looks quite disheveled and dirty, like he hasn't really taken much care about his personal hygiene or personal appearance in a while. Hair is very thinned out, draped around his down the back of his head. Hello.
Hi, are you Rance?
I'm Ransor.
Ransaw. Well, g'day, mate. I'm Lafcadio, and this is Nos. Nos the Red.
Ah, I see. The red. Well, you can call me the white.
Right. Well, we heard that you're in the horse business. Is that right?
In the horse business. I was. But I don't have any horses to sell.
What happened to your horses?
I sold them.
Is that generally how it works? You just sell all your horses and you retire?
Something like that. Do you have anything for me?
Well, we've came across these horses. They're fine riding horses.
Hmm?
They were carrying mighty warriors, and I thought that you could use them.
Do you believe in anything?
Believe in anything?
Mm-hmm. What do you believe in?
I believe in good commerce. I believe in coin. And a sturdy horse if you've actually brought me one that's worth anything.
Well, apparently, the Lady of Luck believes in you.
Really?
But, yes.
Are you a lucky lady?
Not particularly, actually, honestly.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
But it's not about me. This conversation is not about me either.
Mm.
Look. You're about to be blessed. And the thing about the Lady of Luck is that she doesn't just give. People believe that she just gives. But there's an element of intellect that falls within her favor. She's looking at you today because she believes in you. She believes that she sees something in you, obviously. And if you squander this blessing, then you're never going to get back up. You need to think about it before you do anything with these horses. Take a minute. Take a long minute. Build up your stock. Be clever. And try again. You will get one more chance.
I'm flattered. What is this about?
I just told you.
Okay. Praise be to the Lady of Luck. I don't
Are you blaspheming?
know, but like, are you selling me the horses or are you giving them to me? I don't quite understand at this point.
I'm going to look at Lafcadio real quick to check. We're giving them to you. Timora is giving them to you.
Oh, and all the praise be and all that.
You need to take this seriously.
I don't know how I'm supposed to act when I'm doing this serious. How would she have appreciated my thanks?
You're a risk taker. Obviously. But you got to be clever about it. You
Okay.
can't run out of stock again. If you do, that's the only shot you get.
Okay.
Your life is your commercial life will be over after that if you fail. Do you get that?
Yes, I get that, yes.
Do you need me to beat it into you? This
No.
is serious.
Okay. I'm confused.
Why?
Am I supposed to like you or not?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Can I
I'm
take the
saying-
horses?
Do you understand that I'm telling you you have one more shot left?
I understand that.
Do you know who you paid this to?
Yes, but I asked. I don't know how she would prefer me to act in paying her back. You say I take risks. Okay, I'll take risks.
Clever risks.
Okay.
It takes thought.
Okay.
In other words, save up your stock, breed the horses, don't get too willy-nilly with the selling of them, and you might be okay.
Roll a persuasion check.
23.
Okay. I like the sound of all of that. And I like the cut of your jib.
I'll,
The horses.
I'll shake his hand. Say, good luck, mate.
Okay. Shakes your hand. He'll take the horses around back, tie them off on the side, and then start mumbling about now he's got to clean up the field and cut it and get the... Oh, didn't realize how much burden it would be to actually take care of the horses again.
I'm just going to grumble about thick-headedness as I walk away.
Well,
But you can tell that he is grateful of the opportunity to have horses once again.
I'll elbow Nos. I'll say, oh, that went well.
Kale, do you want to go to the magic shop?
I do. I do need some reagents, actually.
I'll go with you.
Sure.
She offers out her arm,
Um,
looks at you expectingly.
do we have to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he'll slide his arm.
And we're gonna sashay our way down.
Okay. So, going shopping. You've encountered the shopkeeper before. It's only been maybe 48 hours since you last dealt with him, not even. His stock has not changed at all. So
Allie hadn't been there.
you've still got the same options available to you. Amulet of proof against detection and location. You bought the bag of holding.
Mhm.
Boots of elvenkind. Braces of archery. Broom of flying. Circlet of blasting. Sending stones. A set of wing wear. Dragon tooth dagger and a ring of the ram. That's it.
What did the dragon tooth dagger do again?
It's a
Sounds
special
cool.
dagger that made out of a dragon tooth. It's very ornate, very fancy.
Very fancy, you say.
Hmm.
Deals extra damage if you happen to worship a dragon.
Dang. Don't worship any
Yeah.
dragons. So, Sir Platar. It's so good to see you again.
Well, welcome to you all to this wonderful Everwyvern home. What can I interest you in?
Well, first I want to introduce you to my friend, Allie the Abyssal.
Hello.
She's very excited to meet you.
I am.
I
I really like your beard.
Thank you. I made it myself.
Out of what material?
It's a family secret. I'm not going to tell you.
Well, look, I know you have a fine stock of magical items on display here, but I'm looking for actually more spellcasting reagents.
If you're looking for supplies to refit a component pouch, you're capable of doing so. You can refill any component pouch for 25 gold pieces.
Well, I'm looking more for specific components that are more costly.
All right. Which components would you be interested in? I have most.
Would you happen to have a crystal ball or silver mirror?
Yes. Which one would you like?
Definitely the crystal ball.
Okay. Does the crystal ball have a spell cost in the materials component list
It
that you are?
sure does, Mr.
Does.
Platar. It is
Yep.
1,000 pieces of gold.
And I will sell you this wonderful piece of crystal ball for 2,000 gold pieces.
Could you sell it for any less than that
Roll a
amount of gold?
persuasion check.
Lucky rock. Gotta get that D4. That's that much plus. Oh, I'm not that great at that. 17.
17. I'd be happy to go down to, say, 1,600.
I see. Let's call it an even 15. We'll take off the extra 100 I paid for the bag of holding. It gave me this hat that I can do almost nothing with, despite how stylish it is.
You did not pay for the hat. You paid for the chance at finding something within the bag, and you did. You got the payout, so well done there. You can buy this for 1,600 gold.
You're right, I can. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
You have a
push
crystal
super hard.
ball worth 1,000 gold pieces for 1,600.
And from what we sold at the market, everyone has 632 divided equally.
Okay. Well.
Kale will need some portion of someone else's in order to be able to afford this 1,600 gold crystal ball. One person will probably give it up.
Was everybody dividing up? Did we divide up all the stuff, or did I just dump it all in the bag? Was everybody like walking around with 600 something gold pieces?
I figure we're just keeping tracks of our shares.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. For me.
All right. Someone will have to spot me money besides just one of them, because I would only have like that amount. Like you said, 620.
632.
Do you believe we've just been raided?
What does it?
That means we have a whole bunch of new people joining our stream right now. Thank you for raiding us, RPG Lab. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, as you'll continue.
Your audio cut out, buddy.
My audio cut out? How badly did it cut out?
You said as you continue, and then nothing else happened.
Okay. As you're continuing to shop, anything else that you need?
Probably.
Is there anything we can perhaps catch outside of session?
Ruby dust. 50 gold worth.
50 gold worth of ruby dust? He'll sell it to you for 75.
How much for the circlet?
Of blasting? 600 gold pieces.
600 gold pieces. And how much would you buy a medallion of thoughts for?
200 gold pieces.
Oh, I'm keeping it. And the dagger?
5,000 gold pieces.
What if I fix your beard?
No.
Fix? Wait, what does fix mean?
Well, I'm really good at making costumes.
Oh, and that involves also cutting hair and stuff like that?
I think my beard is fine. I make it myself. I'm okay with it. Anyhow, any other shopping you wish to do, perhaps we can do that out of session. Okay?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Then, if there is nothing else that you need to do in town, Darathra Shendrel will really push for you guys to head out as soon as possible. You have just been marching for 6 hours.
Miss Shendrel. How do you mean to travel from here to Yata?
I intend to get a wagon with which I will sit inside and be pulled along the road to Yata.
You mind if we ride in that wagon with you? Just have our horses follow.
I don't mind. And in fact, if you would like, I will pull my weight at the Happy Horse Ranch and trade out your horses, so that if you don't have any attachments to the horses that you have, you'll have fresh ones. I know you've been traveling.
That's mighty accommodating of you.
I don't know. I like my horse. I want to keep my horse.
Okay, sorted.
Maybe we could come back and get. Kale, we'll come back and get your horse.
Can I have a big one, like a really big one?
You can trade your horse for another horse. I'm sure we'll get some good quality horses for you.
Can I trade my horse for a buffalo? Do you have any buffalo?
Ooh, do you have any buffaloes?
We are a horse trading town.
Only horses? No.
Only horses.
No giant goats.
No.
What about
camels?
lizards?
Okay.
Yeah, lizards.
They're quite common in the Underdark.
We're really professional. You're not gonna regret bringing us along with you. I promise.
I believe that. We trade in horses, so unfortunately we don't have anything other than horses, you see. Perhaps in another town.
That's odd. Because I lived on a trading road, a very heavily traveled trading road. Many caravans would come through with all manner of beasts of burden. And I'm surprised that the location of Triborg, that those same travelers don't make their way through here in those caravans and perhaps trade out or sell some of that livestock.
What can I say? They've never traded livestock.
I want to channel Divinity read her thoughts. The DC is actually 17 now because I'm level 9.
Yeah. She rolls a 14, so you're able to look past her thoughts. Why are they so focused on getting different animals? I don't understand this. We are a horse trading town. We have horses. They haven't seen any buffalo. I don't get it.
So are you sure you're not...
Who rides buffalo, honestly?
There isn't some sort of stock of exotic beasts that you have here in Tribor?
I'm certain there aren't any exotic beasts in this city, as I run the city. And in her mind you can hear, am I certain I should be offering them connections that I have? Are they really that great, or did they just happen to help out?
So the thing with my channel Divinity, if they fail to save, first I read their thoughts, and then without them being able to save, I can cast Suggestion on them.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, you know what? All right, I'm sorry we bothered you about this so much. I suggest you just ignore all the questions we ask you about extraordinary and exotic beasts, and we just move on with the mission.
Sounds good. I'd prefer us to focus on moving out of town. Okay. So
Great.
let's go. The trail along the Evermore Way is well traveled. It is a fairly clear trail, and her entourage is fairly large. So you guys get loaded up into this huge covered wagon. It is large enough to fit 8 people comfortably. Push, you could get maybe 12 people. The position on it is just 2 big benches along the edge within the inside of this wagon. It's been decorated to be the litter of the Lord Protector of Tribor, and her 12, which is her personal guard, all on horseback. The cavalry, the knights of Tribor, act as a bodyguard and as protection along the trail. It's a fairly imposing looking entourage, and so even if there were people along the path, it doesn't look like anyone would be stupid enough to attack such a large group. All of your horses are kind of grouped together within a circle set about by the 12 soldiers who guide the cart, the wagon, along the Evermore Way. You stop periodically throughout the day to take breaks, to get out, stretch your legs and relax. But thankfully, because you're not riding, none of you have any issues with traveling extra long today. Your horses are traded out, so nice and refreshed. You will reach Yatar by nightfall.
So on the way there, since can I cast a ritual while I'm in the cart wagon
can.
thing?
As you begin to cast a spell, she will look a little concerned. As long as you tell her what you're doing before you cast a ritual, she might be comfortable with it.
So he'll take out his book and he'll set it down. He'll get some incense out of his pack and a little vial of holy water, and he'll say, he'll notice that she looks kind of apprehensive about it, and he'll say, "I assure you, I'm only trying to communicate with Denier. I have a few questions I'd like to ask. This isn't anything evocative or anything of the sort."
Okay.
So then he'll speak some prayers over the incense as he lights it, very carefully. He lights it somehow. He's got a thing to light it with. He doesn't use a firebolt, is what I'm getting at, because that would be not safe. And he casts the commune spell. So I get to ask 3 questions to somebody, either my deity or divine proxy, and I get a yes or no. So first, I would like to ask, are these shadow dogs inherently evil?
No.
Were the shadow dogs summoned by an individual?
No.
I have 1 minute. I don't know what my third question was going to be. What's this lady's name again? I keep forgetting.
Darathra.
Darathra.
Are we privy to this conversation when he's doing the ritual?
This is during his prayer, so I would say no.
Okay.
And he'll ask for his last question, is Darathra trustworthy?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And he'll put out the incense and look pleased with himself and take a seat.
And Darathra will ask, so, did your communication, did your prayers go, everything okay?
It did. And he'll turn away from her and look to Nos. He'll say, I asked about the shadow dogs. They are not inherently evil. And they weren't summoned by anybody in particular. So what I was thinking is that they seem to be a force of nature more than anything else. Maybe some sort of fey occurrence. I'm not sure.
Kale, because of the previously done checks that you had the last time you had inquired about this sort of thing, you would be able to know that they're not naturally occurring situations for the material plane. It's not normal that they should not be summoned. The fact that they are not being summoned means something else is going on.
Right. So
very valuable.
Mm-hmm. So I'll have to ask again tomorrow. I'm afraid the potency of that spell wears down if you continue to ask too many questions too often. So
I wonder if the dogs are related to the missing kids.
That's something I could ask tomorrow morning. I will write that down.
All right. Anything else you guys would be doing over the course of the travel?
I will start arranging a new identity.
Okay. Nos?
I was gonna give a sup nod to Lefcadio. Was I too hard on Rancer, you think?
Yeah.
What should I have done?
We don't really know if he might have deserved it. He might be a right bastard.
He was
We don't know.
like dancing on the edge of blasphemy. That's where I started losing my mind.
Well, if you want him to see your way of thinking, you catch more flies with honey. So maybe a smoother approach. But it's tough to say. Not everyone responds the same way.
I don't know how to be smooth. Everything I know is very opposite of smooth, jagged.
Well,
Maybe you can help me.
I'll be glad to give it a shot. But I think living your life as a good example is always a very powerful image.
I agree, but I never stick around long enough in one place for anyone to see my example. It's all in the moment in one single conversation. That's the trick. That's the hard part.
Well, then I think it's important that you get the biggest bang for your buck. Make a good impression with that one moment.
If I start doing that again, if I start getting too hard on people, maybe you can give me an indicator, kind of nudge me or something, and I'll see if I can calm down.
All right, I can do that.
All right, it's a plan.
I will mention in casual conversation with Dorethra. I was like, hey, we came across some more of those shadow dogs, and we noticed they live in little shadow holes.
Oh, interesting. That's good to know.
They can teleport.
They can teleport?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. We've had no such shadow-based attacks since we set those lights, so we've been fine.
And do we have any of those lights in with us on our journeys?
No, we should be able to get to Yatar before nightfall, so we should be safe behind the walls of Yatar.
Great.
Yes. So the journey continues on. As the wagon crests up towards Yatar, you all get a glimpse as they slide a window open to give you all a view. Yatar is a two-part city. It rests on the Desserin River. And the trail that you're using, the Evermore Way, cuts straight through across the river. On the western bank of the river is a huge fortified entryway. The gates are made of stone, buttressed very high up. You're looking 50-foot tall towers on this side as one huge gatehouse of guards. You can see that there are wagons and carts, horses, all lined up for inspection on one side of the entryway here. As the carriage approaches, the knights say a couple words to the guards, indicating who is here. The great Lord Protector of Tribor, Dorethra Shendrel, is here to commune with her compatriots within Yatar, and they allow your little entourage through the gate, to the muffled annoyance of everyone else that's lining up, having to wait outside and wait to be inspected. You'll step through. Immediately past the huge gatehouse is a drawbridge that is lowered. It's a wide bridge that's fit for a couple wagons side by side to cross over. But it ends in another gate that opens out into the city of Yatar proper. Now, Yatar is a walled city, but doesn't look like a stronghold like the gatehouse did. No tower battlements or anything like that. Just a structural wall that surrounds this location. As soon as the portcullis is opened and the entourage begins making its way inside, you are hit by a wave of noise. Thousands of people are just packed inside the city of Yatar, and just generally going about their normal business causes this constant echo of just background noise constantly. People are talking, communicating, trading. It's a lively city that obviously has far too many people in it for what it's actually built for. The entourage squeezes through crowds, leading through the city and around the streets. You head to the eastern quarter of this city, to a large single tower that stands up above all of the rest. Darathra turns to you all. I believe we're here. If you would please just follow my instruction, my lead, and we will be fine. She steps out, and the section of the city has less people in it, not as busy, but still you can hear the throngs of people from beyond. The night has fully set in now, so it's dark, and you can see the tower shining above everything else as it seems to be giving off light by itself, just illuminating the entire city, as this tower that's a good 200 foot high, just huge structure, seems to have light sources shining everywhere. She leads you to it, towards a door that's on the side, large entryway. Stepping inside, there is just a single shaft. She says you are to enter in when the disc is available, and please keep your arms and legs inside the space, as you will travel fairly quickly. And she'll show you how it's done as she steps into this open tunnel and is just immediately picked up by the Tensor's floating disc that lifts her all the way up. Very quick pace. And as she goes up, another tunnel, another little alcove next to her, a disc drops down that you can all see visibly.
I hop on that puppy.
You
How
hop
wide
on
is
and
it?
it's wide enough for one person to sit on top of, or stand on top of. So it's a 5 foot wide space. Lafcadio, you jump right on, and immediately you're taken up, and
Okay.
another one takes the place at the other side.
Like a dog sticking his head out the window. I'm like,
You stick your head out of the gap.
no, but the wind
Okay.
that's coming is
Okay. I was
blowing
gonna
back
say,
my mane.
'cause, like, you've all seen Resident Evil, and
Yeah.
it can happen. So you shoot up. As the lift goes back and forth, lifting everyone up, you find yourself being deposited into this grand chamber that is far larger on the inside than the outside should be able to accommodate. This space has been prepared as an audience hall. There are Harper agents everywhere. You can see at least 50 different individuals, all grouped in little groups of 3 or 4 off to one side. You see Darathra wait for all of you. Once the last of you are up, she leads you off to the western side of this large chamber. The chamber is decorated quite well. There are tapestries, paintings that seem to show off some of the major players of the major cities within the world over the past 100 years or so. So you can see the leaders of Neverwinter, Waterdeep, Silvery Moon. You notice these locations, and the adept individual would notice each of these paintings only refer to a person who would be a member of the Lord's Alliance. So only the locations that are lorded over by the Lord's Alliance, not anyone else, they seem to be keeping tabs on them. You're taken over to these large wooden doors with golden bindings all around the outside, and simply as she approaches, they seem to open at her command, and you're led into a small office room, sat behind a desk, large dark oak desk. You see an elderly man, a little bit tired, exhausted. His hair is kind of ratty and missing pieces all over the place. Small patches of baldness all over that don't seem to belie natural pattern baldness. This is mistakes have been made kind of baldness. He looks up from his table that is covered in parchments and papers. Oh, Darathra! Oh, it's so good to see you again. And you've brought friends this time. Greetings to all of you. My name is Arceus.
G'day, Arceus. I'm Lafcadio.
Hello. And what do I owe the honor of all of your presence today?
Are we not being introduced by Darathra?
Darathra then explains, yes, Arceus, these individuals helped my city. They helped when there was an attack on my life. There are agents at work. There are things in play right now that I believe we need to send out our feelers and get word out and see what we can find out. Things are afoot. There are problems that not just an attempt on my life, but also you've noticed the shadow creatures moving around, I'm sure. I have promised these great individuals, and you see that she emphasizes great in particular. I have promised these access to our connection of teleportation networks that should be able to allow them to move from city to city quickly. They have business in Silvery Moon, and they're going out of their way to help us right now. Yes, of course. I must ask that they bear with me one moment, please. And he starts tearing through drawers that are on his table. Yes, here we go. And he throws onto the table 5 big metal rings. They're simple loops of metal, and he waves a hand over them, and you watch that as arcane sparks seem to ignite from his hand, the metal rings change color. They turn a bright blue, and then a moment later turn back to their dull gray metal color. These rings will indicate to you that you are trustees of the organization and permitted access to the teleportation network. Do make sure that you are wearing one of these when asking permission to use the network. Okay.
Right.
I lean over to Lafcadio. Do you still have the hat that I gave you?
I do.
Very quiet. It's only fair that we trade him something for these rings.
Well, I don't wear the hat. You're right. Maybe would you be okay if I gifted him the thing you gifted me?
Mm-hmm. After all, now they're friends with us.
Well, Arceus, I want to present you with this mighty fine piece of haberdashery. It's a hat.
Thank you.
This comes from the finest haberdashers in Neverwinter.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. Well, it'll sit well on my mantelpiece. Thank you. Yes, these shadow creatures. It's been a source for concern. You're actually quite fortuitous that you've come on this day, Darathra. We have been collecting some information, and it seems that quite simply, you know how sometimes there are portals to other planes, right? It would appear here, something is causing every shadow to become a portal to the Shadowfell. As of right now, all that we've been able to determine is that lesser creatures have been waltzing in and out during this point, hence why we've started illuminating more of our spots to keep the darkness out. Wouldn't want a little shadow beastie creeping up out of nowhere. But the shadows are getting darker, deeper. According to our findings, I do believe that it won't be long before some more nefarious and larger creatures would be able to waltz into the material plane from the Shadowfell via any shadow that they see. Right now it seems to be confined to the hours of night, so at least during the daytime we don't have to worry about looking behind ourselves constantly. But it's something that we should be aware of.
So,
yes, of course.
your teleportation network, is that compromised then because of portals and whatnot?
I don't think so. We've not had any issues with using the teleportation network since this problem has begun to occur. Everything seems to be very secure. The teleportation uses a very different kind of portal magic than this. It goes without saying that if the Shadowfell is normally the Shadowfell would be accessible only by certain shadows. There are certain areas of darkness that seem to be more attuned to the Shadowfell that you could easily pass through by accident. Now it's becoming a lot more common, and it's not actual teleportation magic that's causing this.
So it's like the Underdark is coming up above ground? Sort of?
Yes, in that the Underdark wouldn't normally be coming out to the ground. No, in that... have you ever been to the Shadowfell? Okay. Think of the worst thing you could possibly encounter in the Underdark. Okay,
Is it that
now
hard?
that you have that in your mind, that's not even the average thing that you would find in the Shadowfell. You would lose a lot more than just your lives in the Shadowfell. So do stay within the light, particularly at night. You wouldn't want to wander off and find yourself in some far-off land.
I would never wander off.
Right. So Kale's in rapture right now. Like, this guy's saying so much cool shit. He's got his book out, he's taking notes, and he'll walk as close as he can to the guy and be like, can you tell me every single thing you know about the Shadowfell right now?
Are there any weapons particularly good against these beasts?
Magical weapons would be appropriate. And yes, I can tell. So the Shadowfell is like a mirror to the current material plane. And you'll find oftentimes that the locations where there are portals in between are locations where the two match more commonly. So locations that are more identical on the two mirrored planes, the veil between them becomes thinner. You'll often find the same thing with the Feywild.
I was going to say, it's like fairy circles.
Yes, it's exactly like that, but the other side of the spectrum. Back a very long time ago, when the material plane and he goes into a long, repeated story of details of how the Shadowfell and the Feywild were actually torn apart away from the material plane, and it was because of they took the extremes of emotion, all like extreme happiness and just too like excitement was taken off to the Feywild, and then just all the darkness in the world was kind of split off, and then you had the material plane. This just kind of a dull mix of the two. Everything is to its extreme in the darkest of potentials. So, yes, that's the Shadowfell.
Exciting. How did you learn all this information? I need to know everything you know about everything.
That's going to take us a very long time. And I don't think we have the time. Yeah, okay, then.
Maybe you could mail it to us.
So he will answer any questions that you might have, and you will now have access to the teleportation network. I want to reiterate, and I will send you all a picture of this later so that you have a handout, but the connection takes you from Yartar to Everland, Loudwater, Waterdeep, Neverwinter, and Mirabar. So each of these major Harper locations can be easily traveled to and from. And unless there is anything you would like to do here within the tower, Durathra will say that I'd be happy to take you to the teleportation network now, show you how it works, and then you would find yourself in Everland, which is a much quicker travel than any sort of normal pace that you'd be taking.
On this guy's desk, the old guy, Arceus. Does he have, just looking at the desk, is there any like parts of his body on the desk, like nail clippings or hair or something just like laying around that I could snatch up?
Roll a perception check.
Sure. I rolled a 2.
Not that you can see. Nothing that really stands out as his person.
So, in character, the Harpers, I understand that you were a organization that, you seem to be very far-reaching and communicative. I wonder if perhaps you have access to stones of sending that maybe we could make use of?
We do often lend out such a thing to our agents, but the sending stones that we use are fixed in that you can take one, but the other stays with us, kind of.
That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to stay in touch with you, actually.
Of course, we have a couple. We can lend those out to you. I would hope to get it back at some point. I'm
Absolutely.
sure I would.
Yeah.
Okay. He'll rummage through another couple of drawers, and eventually he'll pull out one sending stone. This sending stone looks to be a small, round, red clay pebble. It's probably about 3 inches in length, with a face drawn into it. There you go, and we can communicate back and forth. I can answer your questions about the Shadowfell once a day, but keep your questions short.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Arceus, mate.
Yes.
I had a question. What's your take on natural darkness versus just like a shadow? Like, I think they're different.
In what context are we discussing this? Are we talking purely philosophical, or are we talking in a way that actually makes a difference to like the situation right now?
Just wherever your mind takes you, mate. If something calls out to you, because I'm of the opinion. Let me tell you what I think. I think natural darkness is one thing, and then a shadow is the interruption of light, which is completely different than darkness.
My understanding is that darkness only exists in the absence of light, and so all darkness is a shadow. I mean, maybe barring magical darkness, a globe of magical darkness might not be considered a shadow in terms of a portal to the Shadowfell, but anything that is natural darkness would be a shadow pathway.
Great. Just great. Thanks, mate.
You're welcome. Right. With that, he will resume his studies, and Darathra will kind of lead you out. If you have any additional questions, when we will happily help answer them. This is quite concerning news that the Shadowfell passages are getting a little bit wider and easier. I would ask, perhaps you keep an eye out for any such things and maybe report back if you notice anything larger than your average beast step through.
Of course. Just to backtrack real quick. While Lafcadio was having a philosophical discussion about darkness with Arceus, I would like to have pulled Allie aside and just talk very quietly. Like, Allie, I know this is going to sound like a really odd request, but if you can get a hold of either very inconsequential possession or just like a piece of fingernail or hair from Darathra or Mr. Arceus here, that'd be very helpful for me, so we could keep an eye on them.
Okay. But you have to do something for me at a later date.
Of course.
Deal.
Slaps it in there.
Darathra,
Yes, of course.
we haven't met. I'm sure it's completely inconsequential and coincidental. But I was wondering where I come from, which is very, very far away. When we make agreements with others, we give them a piece of our hair in the form of like a small bit of hair, just to symbolize the contract. I understand it is very different than from where you all up here do things.
Roll a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
What's
20?
your total?
Oh, 24.
24. Okay. That's very good, and I would love to engage in the traditions of your particular background. However, I do understand that portions of a person's body can be used in magical spells outside, and so a little bit more protective of my personality and belongings myself. Can I ask what you would be doing with the portion of my hair that you would take?
I would be burning it.
You would be burning the hair?
Mm-hmm. And I would expect that you burn mine as well.
Hmm. Okay, very well. She snips off a little bit of hair and will tie it up and hand it to you, looking a little strange. And
yep, Allie returns it. Gives hers.
Yeah, she'll take your hair and... Okay.
All right, and Allie is going to use sleight of hand to pretend she's burning, but she's going to hold a little bit of... Like, when she moves to burn the rest, she's going to palm.
Okay,
with the spit from when she...
roll a sleight of hand check.
All right. 16 plus... Sleight of hand, 8. 24 total.
You are able to palm the hair away, Kale gets a portion of Dorethra's hair. I'm curious to find out what he wants to do with that. We will find out what he plans to do with her hair next week on Half Rate Heroes. Thank you very much for sticking with us tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. The Shadowfell is encroaching upon the material plane. Find out more next week. Thanks. Bye.
It's about to get weird.